us with some Wildemount.
Definition of interesting.
Oh god, we're all gonna die.
Maybe they're friendly ghosts.
Oh, Casper, it's Casper, right?
You were keeping locked in the basement.
Creepy.
Yeah. They were keeping the really sweet, nice, friendly ghosts.
I mean, you never
magically locked in the basement.
Maybe.
Okay.
You tell yourself that. Let me know how it works.
Trying to be an optimist.
We'll see now. We'll see in like a moment.
Yeah.
Roll.
What?
Huh?
Oh, go ahead. We're just talking about ghosts. Ghosts.
Oh.
Yeah, we were really just conversing about ghosts.
So to recap, last session, after settling in, setting watches, after the fierce battle with the monsters from beyond whatever strange plane of existence they came from, your night of rest had been interrupted, and at midnight you all awoke to a familiar melody and a strange chill in the air, which is unusual because Warriors summoned shelters normally a very something strange was happening at the tomb next to the party's camp. As you all gathered yourselves and your weapons, dark forms emerged from a void where the stone slab on that tomb used to be. The dark forms coalesced into elven warriors that were astride dark-haired stags, adorned in armor from the ancient lost elven city of Teliana. Leading them was a figure in ornate plate armor, riding some kind of stag of otherworldly origin. Its eyes kind of glowed red, pinpoints of red light, and its hooves were on fire. It was quite an impressive and intimidating sight. They did appear to be hostile once they noticed that you were there, but Aiden sort of grabbed Elias's wrist and held aloft his symbol of the Raven Queen, which seemed to settle them somewhat. A brief parley didn't give you too many additional details on who these warriors were, although I think some of you may have had a couple of guesses. But Elias was able to tell that they were very, very old undead. But they seem to be single-mindedly focused on serving the Raven Queen by battling the corruption in the forest. They told you of a lost watchtower at the junction of two rivers, where you may be able to find more information or answers about the city, since they didn't have anything that they could tell you directly. After traveling and avoiding as much as you could in terms of the monsters and creatures, you found the river junction that they talked about. You emerged from the darkened woods, and what you saw in front of you was this desolate landscape. Across the river, stretching as far as you could see, there was almost no vegetation. The forest was unrecognizable, because everything, if not completely gone, was covered in a strange flesh-like substance. That is what was pricking Velus's ranger's senses. Across from you, at the junction of the two rivers, was a strange shape that was covered in this strange flesh-like substance that you surmised to be this lost watchtower. Aiden's packed blade was very effective at cutting through the layers of this substance, as much like it was the other aberrations that you've encountered so far, and you found yourselves very quickly descending through the top of a trapdoor at the top of the tower. It seemed as if you were in some sort of elven barracks, navigating your way through a few rooms and a few traps. You learned through some investigation that near the final days of Teliana, of recorded history of Teliana, that there was some kind of civil unrest, something was kind of going down. And as you continue downwards through the tower, the final trapdoor to what you surmised to be the ground floor was protected by some minor illusion and abjuration magics. Having dispelled those and opened the door, you found yourselves face to face with a ghostly form of an elven warrior sort of rising up from underneath to meet all of you, which is where we left off.
Yep.
So,
Rapidly backpedaling.
yeah.
I'm getting a drink while
I forget who
The form-
the trapdoor.
Elias.
Yeah.
Okay.
Elias.
I think Cortanos was like right behind him.
Yeah, they were right by.
Elias is definitely the one who actually like opened the hatch.
Oh yeah.
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 The form, it looked as if it was actually like climbing up the rungs of a ladder. But as you all look down and you see this face of a somewhat young-looking elf, just all of a sudden, it's going from a climbing stance to it just sort of flies and rushes up towards you, kind of emerging from the. Did you end up dispelling the illusion of the toilet?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh,
Alright,
yeah.
so it doesn't look like it's appeering from a chamber pot. Out of the chamber pot. Moaning Merle style.
Yeah.
But it sort of takes a defensive stance, and then you can see like this, basically a sort of elven glaive kind of coalescing in its hands, ghostly like it. And it sort of takes a defensive stance, looking at all of you.
Just immediately push Aiden's or Bale push Elias to the side, and then
Oh no, I'm actually trying to like push. Does it look like it's aggressive, or is he just?
dingled.
The ghost took a defense. The ghost is in a defensive stance, holding the glaive in front of you, as like you and Cortanos are like fighting with one another over who's going to push the other one. And as you're like,
Of course, I don't speak Elvish. I was about to try to talk to it, but I don't speak Elvish.
you see like the expression on the elven ghost's face, just sort of like puzzled as it tilts its head and lowers its weapon at you. Calls out in an old Elvish, which I guess Cortanos, you're probably the only one who can understand. Who are you and what are you doing here?
And we'll say that to the rest of the party. Those seeking answers.
The ghost sort of looks you up and down, and it looks at everyone else. You are not supposed to be here. This is a watchtower of the eastern host of Teliana. You have no authority to be here.
Can I just look at Aiden and go, do you think he knows he's dead?
I'm wondering the same thing. Yeah.
Is Cortanos continuously?
Yeah, she's translating.
Okay.
Just you know, like
If
a
he
slight.
doesn't, I'm not going to be the one who breaks it to him.
Yeah.
I'll handle that if it comes to it.
You say it was a watchtower of the eastern post of Teliana?
Eastern host, yeah.
Post or post?
Host.
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 Oh, I'm making a mental note of that.
Yeah, would I know what Eastern Host is? Like what a host is in this particular?
It sounded like a vaguely militaristic type thing.
Okay.
It might just be the name of a unit or something like that.
I was just making a note of it in my notebook too, of like, well, I don't know if this is gonna come up later. But
Well,
I
I don't know what to tell him.
Just stepping forward a little bit, still sort of holding the glaive out in front of them, sort of not. I mean,
Does he look like just a regular soldier, or like one with more officer status, or?
yeah.
Just, yeah.
Judging by,
I mean, I should be able to tell that.
And so yeah, would I be able to make a hazard a guess?
I would say actually Aiden. Judging with your familiar, I should probably actually no, Elias and Aiden, and probably Cortanos as well. Looking at his uniform, it does appear to be very nondescript and very
Soldier.
Like an enlisted.
yeah, more
Ensign red
enlisted-
shirt.
Yeah, kind of ensign red shirt. And it sort of peers at all of you.
Just tell him we're travelers
Yeah,
trying to find our way to the city.
Yeah, we're travelers. We're making our way towards Teliana. We're not here to, fight you. We're here to help.
You're here to help.
Correct. We have heard that you may need some aid.
Sort of like,
Might I ask where thy commanding officer is?
sort of shakes his head a little bit and looks around, and then almost as if none of you are there, he kind of turns his glaive to the side, and almost addressing someone or something that's not there, shouting out, oh gosh, I didn't pre-write this, so yay, ad-libbing. But it sounds like he shouts out a warning, and then seems to call out to someone or some people that aren't there, and almost as if he's in combat, and then like his form almost sort of disappears and kind of reforms, facing you again. It was almost as if it was as if his recollection was relived right then and there. And then he responds and says, "They're all gone."
What happened here?
There were creatures. Our captain had warned us that there were insurgents or someone rising up against the city, and that we were to be prepared. But what we fought were not insurgents. They were strange, misshapen creatures.
Repeating all that.
We imagine similar to what we've been fighting.
Less surprising than it possibly would hope it would be.
So they've been here for a long time.
Yep.
Long time.
Do you have any idea what's going on outside of your tower?
Also, she didn't say long time when... she didn't
She didn't translate one time?
She didn't say long time.
Okay.
People were saying don't want to...
Right. I cannot leave my post. I'm waiting for the others to return.
We're not asking you. We just want to find our way to the city.
I don't know what... I don't... And then you can see, like, the form sort of shimmer again. And you can see him this time, he seems to be, like, wrestling with some unknown assailant. And then, stop and kind of turn to look at you again. The city. The city's in danger. Sort of like turns away from you and looks vaguely northward. And then when he turns back, you can see where there once was a pretty handsome, young-looking elf. It's still his face, but you can see these strange bruises, sort of distinctive marks, 4 of them, kind of reaching across his face. And where you can had sort of once seen kind of like his forehead and his nose, there's just kind of like this strange gaping hole in the center of his face. Nellis, you've seen this many, many times. And you can see there's sort of these bruising marks wrapping around his forehead.
Yeah, as soon as you said Velas knew, I was like, yeah.
Velas is actively backing down the hallway away from that.
I'm assuming Leah's been in the back somewhat, so I feel like I don't know how narrow it is. Back into Leah.
Yeah, you're looking it over, everybody.
Yeah.
And then the sort of image kind of fades again to just the face. He kind of like looks down at himself and looks at all of you and.
Kurtanis, can you ask him if he knows what, or just ask him what his name is? I'm curious if he doesn't know his fate, perhaps he at least remembers a name.
I think he just remembered his
yeah, I think he did.
I mean, she's just curious if this one can remember his name, because the last one they spoke to couldn't.
Yeah.
To be fair, after seeing that, I'm kind of curious now what.
My name.
I've got a hand on my blade at this point.
Okay.
Oh yeah, she's definitely still holding her blades, but she's keeping them slightly down until does anything.
Mm-hmm.
My name was Senowin.
Wait. Did I? Oh, I didn't write it down, but it's in the.
It's in the notes.
This chat.
It's in the chat.
Cinnamon. That was Leah has that letter.
It's also a handout in the Roll20.
Yeah.
I added it as a handout.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Because I thought, hey, like there's a feature where I can leave notes and stuff and art for everybody. I was tasked with something. I was guarding something.
Does it say anything in the letter about that?
No.
I don't remember what was in the letter.
It's a personal letter. That's
I know.
It's in the journal titled Love Note in the handouts folder of part of the first folder.
Yeah.
Where is the journal? Looking for that. Okay. Oh, thank you. I found it.
The letter was
nice.
I
Yes.
think the letter was to him.
Oh, the letter was to them.
Yeah.
They never.
So they had received it, basically.
Yeah.
Like.
Aha. I had it reversed in my head.
Had never come back. They never came back. They never came back. They never came back. They never came back.
I'm gonna.
They never came back.
Would I don't really have a spell necessarily that can do this, but like, would I be able to, like, theoretically, whatever, put his spirit to rest, exercise? I don't want to like.
There is a spell for it, actually. I think. I just don't know if you had it prepared. Ceremony, I think, covers that. I think.
It might.
Maybe not. I don't remember. You can perform like funerals, so I would have.
Right. But funerals. I don't
ceremony
think
is like about giving.
Ceremony is like gentle repose, I think.
Atonement, funeral rites. You can prevent something from becoming undead. It's
too late.
I would say that using a ceremony spell, you could probably do something to like release the spirit, but there's something that's binding the spirit here, and you would probably need something like his body, very likely, to sever that connection. I'm not sure where the body might be.
Gentle repose, because that's a domain spell for me, but
Yeah, that's
Not
you gotta have a body
yeah.
for that.
Is there
This is
anything
a
thou canst tell
vapor.
us?
Yeah.
Is there anything thou canst tell us about the city, how to get to it? Perhaps we can find them. Anything.
City. I think the city was under attack. And then the ghost sort of turns and just quickly drifts down, sort of through the floor to the floor below.
If nobody else moves, I'm going down.
Yeah, I'll follow him down.
So assuming, especially with Leah being in the back, I would have, at the very least, seen Velas backing up, whether or not it's like a narrow room and he literally backed into me or not.
Yeah.
I would assume I could see that Velas was visibly shook it up though by this, right?
It's probably still sort of.
Yeah.
So as they start to follow, Leah's going to. I'm like trying not to be patronizing, but I'm like almost like kneel down so she's more eye level, like kind of thing, and just like grab his shoulder and just say, "Fellas, what is it? There's something about that you don't like, and if anything, I've learned your instincts are reliable."
I don't want to fight what killed him.
You know what killed him?
Fight what killed him?
Assuming those marks that showed briefly is what you're referring to, it does not sound like something I would wish to fight either. Or it does not look like, I guess.
No, you don't. None of us do.
Body's down low.
I'll be honest, I don't know the best course of action here. It seems like the rest of them wish to follow wherever it's going, but...
We can hardly go running back at this point.
No, that is true.
One of them almost killed me not so long ago.
Almost being the key word, though. You survived once, and
Once.
I believe you
Yes.
shall survive again. I guess for now, stay close to me, and not that you can't protect yourself, but...
Thank you.
She'll
Just kind of
nod and...
takes a very deep breath and kind of starts to follow at a little bit of a distance.
Okay. Aiden seemed to have been the first one to go down. So you climb down the ladder, and in the darkness, which is, gamma set to full, but it's not dark at all for you. This seems to be
It's not a dog toy.
There's a little bit of disarray. Some kind of similar to some of the scenes that you'd seen before. Some of the furniture knocked to the side. The room itself is it's a singular room. So there's no extra walls or doors or anything like that you can see. Off to one side, there looks to be a sort of large desk with some cabinets and stuff near it. Opposite that, you can see a large reinforced door. This looks to be perhaps maybe the main entrance. That does appear to be barred from this side. And then there are a couple of racks and tables and benches and stuff that look like they might be staging areas with equipment and gear and whatnot. And there seems to be a bit of a disarray there, as if someone had hastily gathered things up and whatnot. Just a few discarded items. And then behind the desk on the wall is a thick, probably a couple of feet above the elevation of the desk itself, a thick sort of velvety curtain, just dark, probably black, maybe a dark purple, I'm not quite sure, just hanging over something, might be covering something behind it all.
Do I see the ghost anywhere down here?
No, the ghost is gone. So the rest of you kind of come down. Worya, as you scan the room.
Light on like my holy symbol, so I can
because it's otherwise kind of
down.
Worya and Aiden are just like,
Flashlight.
and you're kind of like,
like a wrist-mounted flashlight.
Well, did Phyllis have dancing lights up, and we were using that as we were
He
going?
did. It's gone.
Worya, you do notice, similar to the transmutation aura that you detected on the sort of trap door that led down here, you see a similar aura both on the front door, that main barred door, as well as a glow coming from what looks to be just the floor, like some flagstones off in one corner.
Okay.
And then, as well as a faint glow from the desk itself.
Okay. So, there's something magical. It seems similar to the latrine upstairs on the door, and she points, and then
Hiding something.
I'd be careful or keep an eye out on those flagstones and the desk. Just be cautious. There's magic there too.
Yeah, this is all transmutation magic.
Okay.
So
It's all
evocation.
So
Evocation would definitely be a explosive rune about to go off, presuming it wasn't otherwise masked as part of a magical trap.
Yeah.
But
Okay, so it's all what I can see is all transmutation.
Anything weird in the curtain?
let's say hiding something.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm asking her. Basically.
you're asking her. Okay.
Yeah.
Nothing that you can tell. But if there's something behind the curtain, the nature of your spell is that if something is completely concealed, you can't see it. So if there's something behind the curtain that's magical,
Yeah,
you're not seeing
nothing
it.
to do with the curtain itself, but I can't see through it. So
Well, I'll go and pull the curtain back. 'Cause,
I want to see if I can find any like remains or anything down here.
I'm gonna stay by in case anything jumps out.
I think by this point, Velis is actually down there, but hanging back at the entrance.
Okay.
It's not really paying attention.
Sure. Aiden, when you open the curtains, you can see there's a large mirror on the wall. Just with, it's interesting because with your vision, how would mirrors work? Well, okay. Light has a light, so there's light reflecting off of it. But would a mirror appear black to a warlock with this vision? Because, I don't know, that's weird. It's an interesting question. I'll have to think about that later. But for now, you just see a mirror. It's fairly, it's maybe, it's in a very elaborate wooden frame that seems to be carved in the likeness of like leaves and vines, and very elf-looking. But other than that, it just seems to be a sort of a large circular mirror, roughly 2 feet in diameter or so. Just kind of reflect, and you just see reflection of the room.
Can it come off the wall at all?
No.
Okay.
You kind of, well, hold on. Do you reach up and touch it?
No. Oh.
Because if you're seeing if it can come off the wall, that indicates to me that you're like, grab, yank.
When the DM asks, do you touch it?
You already said it. You can
So,
yeah.
as you touch it, you can see there's like a rippling effect on the mirror itself. And then as you're looking at it, you can see where you see yourself reflected and kind of like everyone behind you. All of a sudden, the mirror image, the image in the mirror kind of shifts a little bit. And at first, it almost looks as if you all just disappeared. But then you realize that you're actually seeing a literal mirror image of the room behind you. But it's a different room. You're seeing almost like a reflection of it.
Does only Aiden see that?
No, you all see it, if any of you are observing. Elias, you're looking around for remains.
Yeah.
You don't see anything in terms of organic or bodies or anything like that.
Okay.
What is everyone else doing as Elias is looking for that? Aiden's inspecting the mirror.
What else was in the room?
Nellis is down in the room. I imagine you probably came down as well. But specifically, Cortanus is probably just following and saying...
Cortanus is staying by Elias, but keeping an eye out for like ghosts or anything else that's around here.
Okay.
While he's looking for
what
bodies.
is Ruria and Leah doing? What are
So what else was in the room? There's that has not been inspected.
There's the desk and some cabinets of sorts. And then there's the main door. Aiden is kind of behind the door, fiddling about with looks to be a mirror.
Waria is just trying to keep an eye out in case more, ghosts or something else problematic appears. As everyone else seems to be
I feel like I was gonna say I feel like Leah's more just keeping an eye on everybody else, not as much like looking for things, but like as people are poking things, Leah's just like
waiting
at this point waiting for something to bite somebody or something, and react.
Sure.
Yeah, she's more in protector mode than curious mode at the moment.
Leah and Waria are being party moms.
Yes. Yes. Big party mom and small mom.
Okay.
So Alyssa is kind of absently fidgeting with the dagger.
Okay.
I, for one, am happy for our two large party mom and small party mom.
Yeah. So as you kind of complete a bit of a circuit, Elias, there doesn't seem to be anything other than yourselves in the room, and the furniture in the corner that had the desk and the bench, and it looked almost like a prep area for traveling and that sort of thing.
Check that desk real quick. Any papers or anything in it?
So
Waria did tell you there was magic on it, by the way.
Yeah, so there is a magical aura coming from it, and specifically, as you're sort of looking about and inspecting it, there is a sort of on the side of the desk. It is a sort of a large insignia, sort of circular, and raised up from it is this triangle shape, with three sort of points on it, being a triangle, and then
like
there are
triangle.
and then there's basically 3 elven runes, but currently the triangle is not. Here, let me just draw it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to describe it, and it's not quite.
Could you understand the meaning of any of the runes?
Yes. One says up, one says down, and one says out.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Okay, so I'm not sure why, but I can't. Hold on.
Don't speak that aloud, curiously.
Alright, so something is up with Roll20, and I'm trying to scroll the map, and it's not.
Yeah, Roll20 is being.
Okay, it's like it's like something else is controlling my mouse or something. I don't know. It's weird. Okay. Alright, so I'll draw a quick diagram. All right. So off to the left there. Oh, now I'm. Okay. Yeah, roll 20 is being kind of dumb. All right. Oh, that was not the button I wanted to push. All right. Don't want to open the dev tools on the browser. Okay, so delete. Do this again. All right. So Russ. Oh goodness. Why is it doing this? Sorry. Hold on. My computer is not cooperating with me right now. Every time I try and draw, it instead the whole map. Okay, rough circle with a rough triangle.
No, we're on the. At least I'm on the map.
Yeah, I can't see
I'm on the main map.
Am I not on the main map? Oh.
I don't know. I don't see you drawing anything.
there.
Are you on the DM layer or whatever?
Yes, I'm on the DM. Okay, so let's. One of these days, I'm going to learn how to actually use Roll20.
There we go. Okay.
You know, I'm not a master at it either. It's hard. Roll20 is hard.
You get so many more buttons than we do.
Okay. And the stylization on the triangle, there's sort of indentations, but one particular area seems to be highlighted in terms of the carvings and decorations.
Does anyone know how to use a PlayStation?
We found the ancient PlayStation.
Yeah. It looks like a mechanism of some kind. Of some strange arcane origin. It doesn't actually have an X and an O and a weird plus sign.
Yes, it does. That's up, down, out, right?
It's not the ancient elven PlayStation.
Which one is up, down, and out?
So basically the one on the top left represents up, the one on the top right represents out, and then the one on the bottom represents down.
I can read the runes, but I do not know how this particular piece of arcana work. Does anyone know?
Do you want
pointing it out?
You said they were elven runes?
Yes.
Does Leah understand them at all? I highly doubt it, but...
Does Leah understand Elven?
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as you can read it right.
I'm like, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, she points out what she knows.
She speaks, the modern Elvish.
So
whereas opposed to knowing the old Elvish.
They're less the actual words and more like Elven symbology for above, below, and outside. Sort of like trail marker style symbols.
Okay.
So the meanings of those have persisted through time.
Yeah.
They're slightly different stylization than you have seen, but if and when I would imagine actually that these sorts of things are the kind of markers that the Furbolg of Home use, just because you were probably taught how to write by elves.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Were you mentioning this was like transmutation? Yeah.
Yeah.
Can move it over to out.
Yeah, I mean you can. It seems as if that center triangle, you can manipulate that and rotate it.
Yeah, so rotate like the one end that's marked over towards the out.
This seems like a dangerous experiment.
Didn't say it was a vacation.
Okay, when you do that, Wuria, you can see the transmutation aura surrounding the barred door flare and then dissipate.
Well, I think the door might be open.
How door?
Wait, was it so? The door? It still looks like a door. It's no longer. There's no longer the magic there.
Right.
Well,
Can I?
Did something to the
I
door.
don't know if anything else is happening with the mirror, but
so,
magic there.
It's hard to do multiple things at
yeah, that's why I wasn't getting myself involved in all of this. So
yeah, no worries. So you're looking at it. The room seems to be a mirror image of what you were looking at before that was reflecting back at you, but now you're looking at it, and there's something sort of off about it, but then you realize that it's because instead of looking at everything reversed, you're now looking at the room as if it was straight on. And so sort of everything switched locations. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
when you look
so
in the mirror,
it's no
everything is
longer
reversed.
reflective, it's just...
You're seeing through something. You can see a similar setup, except instead of looking like everything is in disarray, you can see everything is actually sort of well organized. Everything is kind of neat and in its place. And you can see that there's a lot more stuff all piled up on those racks and benches and the tables and stuff. A number of cloaks, bits of armor and weapons and such. But one of the things that you do notice is that it's a little off to the side and difficult to make out, but you can see into magical darkness as if it were not darkness at all. But whatever that is dark. It is some sort of curtain of something that obscures your view and your vision, and it's just nothing seems to be. It's like a dark void, often at slight corner.
Which part of the room is that?
Sort of, kind of looking at around. It looks as if it's in the reflection, where the front door area seems to be.
Well, that's disconcerting, but none of the rest of us see it right now, so...
Yeah, you're all like, clicking with this, ooh, it's a PlayStation, and like auras and stuff.
I was like, Cortana turned the symbol thingy to which symbol? Or room?
Out.
Or whatever?
The symbol that meant out.
Okay.
Okay.
And it made the magic on the door dissipate? Is that what
that is Wuria's
Wuria could tell.
Well,
Okay.
I mean, yeah,
Which I would assume she
it
would.
flared and then faded out.
Right.
You said faded out entirely, right?
Yes.
As far as you can see? Yeah. Okay.
So what,
And the other ones were over
sorry, I
and
missed
down.
all of that. My internet just died. So what happened?
So Aiden sees shadow and darkness in the mirror, which is weird because he doesn't normally see shadow and darkness. And Cortanus manipulated the dial to turn it to point to out, and the aura around the front door dissipated.
Did that change
Okay, so the mirror changed?
she was moving it?
Sorry,
or was
I
it
missed all of...
Yeah.
It's always been like that.
No. As you were assessing the mirror and looking around, the scene that you are observing did not seem... There was no correlation between Cortanus manipulating that thing and the scene that you saw.
Okay.
The other rooms, just so I have them written down correctly, were over and down. Was that right?
Up and down.
Up and down.
Out and down.
Okay. I was just trying to... Because I was like, I'm making a note of this interesting whatever device or thing.
Right.
Is it right on the desk?
It's kind of like on the side.
Stuck to the side of it.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, what happens with down?
Yeah.
Thanks, Discord.
Where was it pointing when we found it?
It was kind of pointing off to the side, not towards anything.
Okay. Just making sure.
What happens if I turn it between the two of them again?
When you turn it away from the out symbol, Wuria says that the enchantment on the door comes back.
It's an interesting control mechanism.
Yes.
So what the other two...
Where else?
The door we just came through and the one at the top.
I was going to say, where else did you sense magic in the room? Again.
The corner, like there's some flagstones off in a corner, and then the door and the desk. Those were the three.
It's hard to have a
Or
corner in a
rather, it
particular
would be
chamber.
the one we came through and whatever that is.
Yeah, I was gonna say that the one we came through and the one up top, neither of those would be down. Yeah.
So, Kotanis, try turning it to up and Waria, see if anything on the door above us. Because we came through a door above us, right?
I mean, we already dispelled what was
Right.
on one above.
Yeah.
But if this is what turns it on,
This is what turns it off when it's pointing toward it.
I don't know. We don't know that for sure.
We just tested it with the front door.
Does that mean that the other door has to work the same way?
If
I mean,
it
by
didn't,
your
that'd be a
assessment,
really
it's going
lousy
to do
control
nothing.
mechanism.
By your assessment, then there's no harm in doing it because it's going to do nothing. At the very least, then we can assume that it does something. So, up seems a much safer option than down because we do not currently know where a down door is, and I don't feel like finding out by phone.
I
Probably the
assume
flagstones.
the down door is that spot over there, and where your points towards the flagstones that she sees magic on.
Okay.
Where there is.
I don't know what flagstones are, so that could be what I'm like, I don't know.
The only person who has any sense
is a
of
flagstone?
what that is.
It's Waria.
I mean, she pointed it out to everybody.
No, but I, as Bess, have no idea what you're talking about.
Flagstones are like floor stones, basically. Like, you know.
Large
It's a
paving
stone floor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Large
That
paving.
are-
I'm picturing like a pile of rocks in the corner, so I was
No.
like,
Oh, yeah.
that's a really weird place to hide a door. Like, that's why I was really confused. I was like,
No.
No, that's fair. That is fair. That would be a strange place to hide.
I was like, I don't see any down doors.
Think of the floor being made out of the stone brick texture from Minecraft, except the stone bricks are
That doesn't
large.
really
That doesn't help? Oh.
I've never played Minecraft.
Okay.
It's just, you know, a stone floor.
I
like you
know
find
a
on the
stone
castle.
floor, yeah.
Yeah,
Giant bricks.
cut stone floor where the
Yeah.
stones are they're not like little bricks. They're like big.
So it's just one of the stones in particular has that magical aura on it then, kind of, is what you were saying?
Exactly.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Well, now that we've gotten that cleared up.
Language is fun.
Right?
Yeah, and like, I feel like Leah would have had a better understanding being able to see the room than I did, so.
No worries.
I don't know what a flagstone is.
So what do you do with the PlayStation?
Well, if you don't mind turning it back to out for a sec.
Alright.
Do you want to try to open the door?
Yeah.
It's got like a crossbar beam across
Oh
it.
yeah, obviously I can remove that.
Okay. You're fairly strong, so it is heavy, and it seems as if it would probably take more than one person to lift.
Elias.
But if you really put your back into it, you might be able to get it yourself.
I'm not that desperate.
Throw it back.
It looks as if it's meant. It's specifically like a very dense, heavy thing meant to protect and bar the door from the outside.
Well,
But does it seem like an outside door? Like it's supposed to lead outside?
I mean,
Based on its
the room
location,
that out.
based on the location of the door, the size of the door, and the look that it's reinforced, this seems to be an external door. It isn't like it's a double doors. It is just sort of one door, but it is slightly larger than.
yeah.
An
So
internal
probably
door.
the front door that we opted not to use like normal people.
Well,
Yeah,
we
like
didn't actually.
I mean,
we
it would have
actually
been locked
closed
anyway.
the front door
In-
because
And
it's
covered in that
Yes.
bloody flesh.
Which,
Well,
if I recall, we did not get rid of all of it, so even opening the door does not. I don't feel like it's going to do us any good, aren't we? Just
give
going
me
to
a
run
sec.
into that
Open the
flesh?
door, please.
Okay, I mean, if Leah will open it, I mean,
Okay.
if nobody else really wants to, she's big and strong.
I'm going to presume that you get Elias to just help you
Yeah.
lift the thing real quick, so that you don't strain yourself.
Yeah, between the two of us, we should.
Right. Yeah, and I mean,
I
Leah-
could do it. I have 18 strength.
Well, then why are you
but it is
asking us
still
to?
significantly
I'm asking
heavy.
somebody to help me do it.
He's asking for assistance.
Oh, well then yes, Leah would help. I thought he was still standing by the mirror just telling us to open the door. I was like, you do it!
You remove the crossbeam. I don't know if you unceremoniously sort of dump it onto the ground or if you set it aside.
I don't care. Wherever we put
I
it.
feel like he
I
unceremoniously
just want
dumps
the
it
thing
into Leah's
open.
arms, who then sets it aside.
Is this really an important
It is
detail?
dense and it is
Yes.
heavy. And you've actually never encountered a wood that was quite like this.
Norwegian wood.
And yeah, and you go to open the door, and it opens easily, and it's just wall of flesh.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was expecting. I take my blade, I shove it in as far as I can, and just make a slash.
Yeah.
Cool. Now we know where the door is on the outside.
Yep.
Fair enough.
And you come, you pull your arm back out, and it's like, and you're dripping.
Cleansing stuff.
Well, that's the backside of the gross flesh.
Wonderful. Can't we continue on to something else for the meanwhile?
Yeah, you can close
Well,
that if you want.
everyone's been doing all of this. Vella's kind of a little nervous from all that. Is probably just use primeval awareness again to just see if anything's getting closer or seems to have noticed our presence.
I was gonna say, Leah's been kind of somewhat keeping tabs on Velas too, just like
Have we
sure
searched
he's
through
okay.
the desk itself at this point? Has anybody done that?
No, nobody's searched through any of that.
Yeah, Kadaos is like going up to it and then found the dial.
And then you're like, ooh.
Ooh, this is a thing I can turn.
Well,
Yeah.
let's try and find some notations.
Okay. Going through the desk, there seems to be some general ledgers, but they are skimming through them quickly. They seem to just be very administrative in nature. Oh man. Talking about attendance, orders that have come in, and there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of anything that kind of sticks out. There are a couple of notations about
I'm focusing on looking for like maps.
right. Yeah, okay. You don't find any kind of maps or anything like that.
Yeah.
Sorry. Is everyone just not moving, or did Mike freeze?
Huh?
Okay, everyone was really still for a second.
Good.
Still here. We're just waiting.
Strangely still.
Waiting.
Yeah, everyone just
my roll 20
frozen.
has been freezing.
Okay.
Roll 20 is a little cranky today.
As you're kind of like going through some of the cabinets looking for maps or notations or anything of note or interest, the form of that elf appears again, sort of coalescing, looking about, kind of panicked, and shouting out in Elven, "You cannot open the door!"
Wait, the ghost came back?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sort of, he kind of formed and coalesced into the sort of center of the room, and sort of in a rush goes towards the desk, and
He's going for the button.
but he's unable to like actually manipulate the dial or anything. Like,
What
we
a
must
ghost
close the doors. We can't let it out. Velas, as you're concentrating, you get a sense of everything sort of around. And again, there's that low-level, weird psychic ping of this strange flesh that you've become accustomed to somewhat. Probably within the radius, you do sense a number of aberrations of various sizes and strengths. Nothing in the immediate vicinity, but a very distinctive note. You get no sensation whatsoever from the ground underneath you. It is as if there is nothing there. It is a void of no sensation.
Oh.
He said, can't let it out, right?
What is...
That's what the ghost said.
That. I'm going to share that,
What
but
is
I'm also going to
inside?
say that the ground feels wrong outside of here and everywhere, but there's nothing underneath. There were things moving in tunnels underneath. There's nothing under this place.
So did we understand, or would Leah have understood? I don't know how old his Elvish is.
It's
like,
probably Kurtanis is translating, so
Yeah.
she would have explained it.
Leah's just gonna just kind of turn to. Don't let what out?
Yeah, she was saying, what is
Like
it?
very intently, like what?
It's very important.
Tell us now.
The ghost doesn't seem to. I mean, it doesn't really sort of understand you. So when Cortanus does translate, Ghost turns to you, Cortanus, then looks at you. The creature that we had captured, kept below. I was guarding it.
What did it look like?
And then, similar to what you had seen above, the form of the ghost kind of shifts, and then it looks as if it's sort of fending something off, fighting with it. You can't see what the assailant is, but you just hear the ghost sort of begin to scream, and then like the scream is muffled and then goes out, and the ghost just kind of disappears again.
No one turn that down. No one touch that.
Velis,
What?
how long do those creatures live? Because I realize this was however many
Would I know that? How long they live?
thousands of years ago.
So you know that they consume brains, but it's mostly that they subsist on psychic emanations, and in order to live, an illithid would need to have a source of some kind of psychic energy in order to survive. Otherwise, it would sort of starve and die out. But they don't physically need to eat to survive.
Do ghosts give off psychic energy?
Or aberrations of other kinds? I don't care.
But they don't have a lifespan that you know of.
Is there a reason to risk it?
We don't have enough information yet.
Alice, you said that the ground did not feel right.
It's because
It doesn't look right either. Have you seen it outside?
No.
You said inside.
He said underneath us.
Yeah. Like specifically under where you are, it was as if you when you open up your senses like that, you feel the earth. You feel the energy of the life around you. And that's kind of the thing, is that when you sense aberrations, you sense a wrongness. But distinctively underneath you, you sense nothing. No energy, no life, it's as if it were being warded from something. From the ability to
the way this works, that thing opens paths or something, right? So if you turn it down, whatever's underneath is open. I don't want to know what's down there.
You may have an answer to that already. If it is one of those things, doth we wish to deal with it again?
You all begin to hear just the slightest. It's sort of at the edge of your perception, but it sounds like just a long, sustained, muffled sort of scream or wail.
Not pleasant.
Very quiet.
Sorry, so what did I miss? Because I have to completely restart my computer. So
basically, what we
I'm gonna take a quick bio break while you catch.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically,
a lot.
What was the last thing you?
There was a switch with Elven runes.
Oh wow! Yeah, we found
something about the mirror changing.
Yeah. So
I haven't figured that out yet.
We haven't figured that one out. But the switch. So the switch is basically when we turned it out, the magic that was on the front door went down, so we could open it up, and then you could just see like the flesh outside, like the front door, which Aiden cut through. We closed that back up, Basically, we saw the ghost again, and what we're pretty sure happened is that they've been keeping a mind flayer trapped.
He
down.
said that there was something.
He appeared when the door opened and said, "You can't let it out."
You can't let it out.
Okay.
And then he said that they captured something and seemed to be fighting something off, which
and then,
it seemed like it was the thing killing him.
Yeah, and then
Velis did primeval awareness, and there is nothing underneath the tower. There's no land. There's no space.
Lights.
Okay.
There's no nothing.
Or at least he can't sense what there is.
Yeah.
So Velis
So it
said,
might be
"Don't
warded.
turn it down because
we don't
want to open up what's down there."
Yeah. But first guess is that there might be holding a mind flayer down there, given what happened to what's his face.
That's the assumption.
And now we're just trying to discuss whether we want to deal with it or not to find out any more information.
I gave a big
in
note.
the log, in the journal log. Sorry, can you hear me?
we can hear you.
Yeah.
Could you hear me before? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I wasn't sure if it was going through my headset or the computer.
I can definitely hear you.
Well, it's because you're down the hall. Well, because my headset is, if it's coming through the headset, it's muted whenever it's up. But apparently it's not going through the headset, so whatever. I may switch that, see if it's better. But, anyways. In the log, they said, like, I remember, which Leah, I forget if I really said this or not, but Leah, I feel like was, in addition to holding the letter, was just holding on to the logbook that they had. I remember them referencing something about, like, keeping things down below.
Yeah.
I just don't remember.
It was a little bit vague.
Yeah.
It was kind of encrypted to...
So, I mean, I'll ask.
Vague.
Yeah, but I'll probably something, I guess, when Burden gets back.
He is back.
He's here.
He is back? Sorry, I'm in the Discord page, not looking at the cameras anymore. There it is.
No worries.
Okay, so Leah has the logbook, or has been carrying the logbook in addition to the letter.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember there being some vague reference to them keeping something or someone or people or whatever down below, I think.
Yes.
So I feel like upon that, in the midst of all of this, if Leah's able to, like, remember where that was, she's flipping through and just being, like, down, like, there was some reference of keeping something somewhere. If there's anything more she can find out about that through that. I know it was vague, but...
just to know, can you read that book? The Old Elvish?
I don't know. I mean, somebody could, and Leah was holding on to
reading it, yeah.
Was it just Cortanus?
Cortanus and Aiden would be able to read.
Yeah.
So you're...
well, then she would be shoving it in, like, Cortanus' face, being like, didn't it say something about this? Not shoving it in her face, but, you know, being like...
Right.
Handing it over.
Handing it over and being like...
That was basically the encryption. That's what she used to say that there's another level down on this place. That's how we figured out the illusion.
But, like, I at least, I remember there being some allusion to, like, it's where we keep them or the things that we don't want.
And we thought it was the bad, the insurgents.
But what made us think that?
If it was something as... Well, I think we were just hypothesizing.
Yeah.
It was so vague.
I thought there was something that indicated something like that.
The language mostly just sort of alluded to a lower level that was secure, that would be able to keep things that they that they captured. I believe.
Hold on.
I don't have my own notes about that, so...
Yeah.
Well, now we're missing.
There was a very secure, very strict, like, system to the lower level. So
right.
Figure
and a protocol, and it was always very important that they followed protocols in order to ensure the security of.
Kicking over.
That's why they
what about
have
that?
all the other entrances out of this level secure when one other one is open. So that if the lower one's open, they can't get through the other two.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Makes a lot of sense if they've got.
Well, except
something else
we just
there.
dispelled the one on the top, so.
So now perhaps we do need to deal with it. Otherwise, it could skit out and cause problems later.
Well, it's still sealed down there. I mean, presuming it's still even down there. Apparently, it killed the one that was guarding it. How do we know
long
it's
do
even
those
still here?
things? Yeah, or how long do those things live? It could just be.
Oh yeah, we
They
kind of
can.
talked about
Yeah,
that.
we went over that. I think Aiden actually asked Velis that. How long
Yes.
do those
Yeah.
things live
And-
for?
So basically,
Indefinitely, basically.
yeah, the response was as long as it has psychic emanations to feed off of, which could
And then
include ghosts or other aberrations that we.
And then the question was, do ghosts emanate some sort of level of psychic energy?
And it's like, we don't know.
I would say Elias, being a
So yeah, what I.
devotee of the Raven Queen,
Yeah,
ghosts are nothing but remnant psychic energy. So
that's basically all they are.
So he's got plenty to feed off of, basically.
Or
This
used
is
to.
Could just be the last
We've only
one.
Found one ghost. So.
I mean,
Might be why there's
presumably
only
there
one left.
were more at some point. Yeah, I was like, this may just be down to his last one.
now
It's
there's
still
just
down
the
there.
sort of-
It can't get out unless
Aiden's staring
someone
very
turns
hard
that.
at the flagstones.
I mean,
What did
there's just
Steph
kind
find
of
with the mirror?
Yeah. What is... The reflection looks odd.
with the curtain open and the no longer being blocked, the mirror emanates a strong aura of divination magic.
Oh, well, yeah. Wiria
on the
passes
wall.
that on.
Right.
That's
So it's
maybe
definitely
no.
magic in some way, shape, or form.
magic mirror.
That
Magic
may give us
divination
more
mirror, no
answers
less.
than dealing with what is down there first.
If you could figure out how to work it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
Looking to Wiria on that
I'm
one.
familiar with divination magic.
like-
Can I take a look at it?
it's like, have I heard any stories of how to make magic mirrors work?
Go ahead and make a history check.
In the fairy tales, that would simply
Just-
move through them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the record, I mean, I'm assuming after I did my thing, we shut the front door. I
Uh-huh.
didn't put the bar back up.
Okay. So you just
That's-
close it.
Make
Too heavy. Ain't nobody get time for
That's
that.
No,
an
I don't want to put the bar back up, even if it
18
was.
for history.
There isn't anything that you recall. I mean, there's lots of stories of mirrors.
No.
Yeah, I mean,
And so, I mean, mirrors are often gateways between worlds. They're often used as scrying devices, or, you know, there's also stories of, like, cursed mirrors, where if you touch them, they suck your soul away, or any number of things. But
Well, luckily Aiden's soul appears
like-
to still be here.
I think Aiden's still
like,
but
That's
nothing
right
in
for the
particular.
with divination
Right.
magic, I want to just take a look and see if there's anything that looks like maybe.
Go ahead and make a investigation roll, if you like.
Oh, that's good. That's a 19 plus 2, 21.
Okay. So in the scroll working and whatnot of this mirror, you definitely see subtly, but there is iconography, old-fashioned iconography, kind of hidden within of the Raven Queen. More like
Oh,
it's sort of like
I see.
that you might see if in a culture that revered the Raven Queen.
Like there's like this one really old part of the temple back in Vasselheim that had.
Yeah. It's sort of like you're actually making that like, oh, this is very old style type.
Yeah.
But other than that, there's no like
I've read it.
instruction manual or hidden catch or anything like that. It just seemed to respond to Aiden's touch and is now kind of just showing a room.
Okay.
The room is very, very dark. You don't really see much. Aiden and Wuria can see just fine. But
Oh, so to the rest of us, wait, the normal room or the reflection of the room?
the reflection in the room.
Okay. So the reflection is darker than the actual room is? Is that what you're saying?
Like what you're looking at is no longer a reflection of the room in. It was until Aiden touched it, and now it looks as if it's looking in on another room, but it's too dark to see many details, except for Warrior and Aiden, because they have this weird magic vision, and they can... Versus, like, if you had dark vision, it doesn't work through remote, but, you know, weird warlock stuff, it works remotely, apparently.
Yeah, you can see through magical darkness. Leah,
what identify?
Yeah, I was gonna say, well, She was like, where are you?
I do, actually.
I know you have identified strange things before. Are you able to?
I can...
I know it takes some time.
Yeah. I mean, I can do it in about a minute or a bit longer if I want to be able to cast more spells today. Do we want to wait?
The Graven Queen, we may not wish to break it.
No, identify, not break it.
No, that's what I mean. Like saying because we don't want to break it, using identify would be the best option than trying to poke it. No.
I was like, I'm not trying to spell the discrimination match.
No.
Okay. I can certainly try. Are you willing to wait a little while?
It is better than getting into whatever may be down there first.
Yeah.
Okay. So Wiria ritual casts identify. You're gonna have to chill
while Wiria is doing that, I want to poke around the flagstone.
Okay.
I know I can't open it with like the thing, but I just really want to determine whether or not it's another illusion hiding a door, or if the flagstone itself is a door.
Okay, I would say over the 10 minutes that she's taking to cast, and knowing precisely what area, you can quickly determine that it does appear as if the flagstone is not sealed in like everything else, and it could possibly move or shift. There's no illusions about it, but there's something that it is large enough for someone to go through, as if it were to open in some way, someone could pass through it. And it does seem as if it's
how tight is the seal around it?
Almost imperceptibly.
Okay.
Close. And the only reason you had found it is that Moria basically like traced it with her finger, and you're able to kind of like get real close and examine it and whatnot. You can't slip a blade or anything in there.
Yeah.
Like a piece of paper, maybe, if it was a really thin piece of paper.
Pen pals with the potential mind flare.
I feel like
let's not use mind flare letters.
Leah is in this like not panic, but this super mom mode, because like small mom is over identifying the mirror, so she wants to make sure that like her soul doesn't get sucked into the mirror while she's doing that. She's also like keeping an eye on Aiden, who's poking around the shady stone, also trying to make sure Velas doesn't just totally have a panic attack and freak out, and she's just like,
That's funny, because this is the one person in the party who has not seen Velas have a legit panic attack.
No, I think that's, if anything, why, because
like need to get used to this, Leah Moira, if thou art staying with us for some time.
Leah's running out of arms to mom arm people.
Yeah. Thankfully her arms are long.
Yes.
I'm ignoring her or whatever she's doing.
No, she's just keeping an eye out, basically trying to just be on alert in case something goes wrong in any of these cases.
Okay. Partway through the ritual, the sort of background noise of whatever that scream or that cry was just sort of fades out. Just kind of
right. I
completely forgot that was going on.
Wait, what? So what was that? Because that thing.
It was the sound of someone. It was like a muffled sound of somebody screaming in pain.
What direction was that coming from? It was just everywhere.
Rough. It's difficult to say. It just almost seemed like if it was surround sound kind of thing.
Was our ghost friend present when that was going on?
No.
Okay.
Ghost friend was not present.
I mean, quite a few of these. Can I just go ahead and do a quick Eyes of the Grave? Well,
sure.
Just to see if I pick up anything we haven't noticed in the room.
You're not picking up any auras or anything like that. that you can sense or tell.
Okay.
Can I don't know if Elias was like verbalizing or mentioned searching for anything.
Maybe.
He
probably would have reported, like, I don't sense any undead. I would imagine that.
Or is he just like, oh good, there's no undead, silently in his head?
Yeah.
That actually probably sounds more like Elias.
Yeah. But yeah, he probably just like. Okay.
I don't think, was there anything else in this room to look at while she's doing that? Because I think we've kind of gone over the main points.
Was there anything else on the desk other than that switch thing?
Some of basically just ledgers and notations and very mundane type of things that you might find inside of.
I think you're muted suddenly, Brendan.
Yeah. Yep.
Can't hear you anymore.
Mundane things, and then
mundane things and then nothing. Nope.
Oh no!
How about now?
Yes.
There we go.
Yes.
That was strange. No, just a lot of mundane things.
Okay.
You're kind of like all now beginning to look around, looking at each other, and Worry is just sort of busying herself with this incantation and the spell and looking and consulting books. As you finish the ritual, what you gather, I don't have like a card or anything like that, but this is basically a two-way scrying communication mirror that looks in on a remote location that allows for two-way communication.
Especially we're just seeing another outpost.
Yeah.
Right. And when touched, it shows the what is on the other side. And then when touched by someone on the other side, it allows real-time communication with sort of audio to go back and forth.
So, assuming Wiria relays that to us, Leah's just going to look and say, so wherever that mirror is, shrouded in darkness.
Probably abandoned.
Well, yeah, it's probably another abandoned tower covered in flesh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the other side of wherever. So,
I mean, I can't, other than it's dark, does it look any different?
It looks not as messed up.
No.
There's a lot more stuff that's arranged in there.
Yeah, it seems in better
shape. One part was actually black still, though?
Except for like a weird corner that's like all weird and shadowy that he doesn't understand why.
Yeah.
Has he
maybe the curtain's partially in front of it.
It took a picture with their finger half in front of the lens.
Right. Exactly.
Like, weird thing. Aiden's like, nope, it must just be the curtain.
Yeah. Curtain fell in front of part of the mirror.
Well, Flavor's not going to help us with what we need to figure out.
The room sort of lights up again as the ghostly figure coalesces, kind of standing in the room.
Looking over that.
Yeah, has the glaive out again, and sort of looks at all of you. And who are you? What are you doing here?
You've met us before.
I think his memory is just a little...
Ghosts.
Second whatever moment.
He had the glaive out when we first met him, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think he's stuck in
stuck in before he died. Yeah.
He sort of calls out over his shoulder, calling to someone about intruders, and he shouts.
Elias, there's nothing you can do for him?
Without a body, it's a little tricky. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I
idea
can.
where we might find one.
Yeah, cringing a little bit, but looking towards that flagstone.
Looking at the flagstone.
Yeah, I was like, I would suspect below, but I don't know if putting this man's soul to rest.
One of those things.
The ghost sort of responds as you all look.
A number of other reasons why we.
Yeah.
As you look down over at the flagstone, the ghost sort of tracks where you're looking and looks back at you, and sort of moves over to defend it.
Is that where you keep it? Assuming if Kratonus translates.
Right, Kratonus is translating.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not offensively, but just, is that where you keep it?
Keep it.
Is he stuck in a loop?
Yeah.
Could try just tell her. I mean, would I have any idea of like a way to potentially exorcise a ghost without sending him on his way without having a body?
Here's the exit.
Would telling
ghost off.
You could.
Telling him he's dead.
You could physically destroy the ghost.
What is
and make it dissipate. I mean, that's not quite the same.
It's not quite. Yeah. I'd like to put him to rest if possible. Not just destroy him, but yeah.
Aiden, do you think we shall learn anything new by going there?
It's always a possibility.
Yeah.
I can tell you have another personal reasons for wanting to go down there.
Yes, I suppose you would.
I mean, leaving one of those things alive, if it's still down there, does not sit well. But, yeah.
There is that. There's also the fact that apparently they have we learned from your friend, they have they're all connected mentally. Yeah. So even if this one's been trapped here for forever, it should still know things.
Huh. Yeah.
But do we really want to deal with? Yeah. Okay. Can one negotiate with one of those?
Aiden, was one of these there when that happened to you both?
I don't know. Was one?
Mind Flayer?
Yeah. You never mentioned any specifics.
I didn't mention any specifics. So you think back, and it's lots of dark flashes. There were a number of those other creatures, the ones that you had encountered in Chisoa. There were a number of those. Let's see. Was there any of... I'm trying to think. No.
Okay.
It was.
I feel like that's a better. Because
that was her first instinct.
I would really want there to be one there.
To know.
Yeah.
Yeah. If they were connected, finding information that way.
Yeah.
No. First time I saw one was in the mines.
You cannot negotiate with them. You cannot coerce them. They will just try to kill you.
Well, what if I have something designed to kill it? How about that?
You see, you're referring to that sword of yours.
Yeah. The other one was pretty scared of it.
Yeah.
Do you think you shall get information in return from either that thing or your patron?
From that thing? Couldn't tell you one way or the other. No. But as far as the sword goes, or whatever made the sword, it likes to keep its secrets, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Or just like popping up when it's convenient for it.
What do you think we're going to gain?
I don't know.
The
Ghost
dead
kind of goes through its sort of like a very similar cycle of those scenes, struggling with an unseen assailant, and then it kind of disappears again.
Can I tell anything of like how the attacks, where it was attacking, where it favored attacking, to get any kind of like insight into this thing's attack patterns? Yeah.
So, piecing little bits of information together, it looks very, very similar to what happened to Velis.
Okay.
Wait, what?
In general, it was a caster, but
Yeah.
I'd like to.
And it also stunned
That one didn't really get to do too much, honestly.
That's true.
Yeah. Like he was like straining to keep something away, and then he disappears.
Yeah.
And if you let it out, say you fight it, say it doesn't want to fight, it's to keep it from just leaving. They can do that
if it tries to leave.
I mean, the last one.
If it was gonna leave the way you said it would, way you seemed to be implying it was gonna, I would think it would have done so already.
Yeah.
Whatever is warding down there must be powerful enough to keep it.
Do what you want. I'm going back upstairs.
Velis.
Not surprising.
You all say
You're running away, Velis.
You all say you fought one of these before. I personally have not.
Is a relative term.
But yeah.
I made it laugh. It was very unpleasant.
It was
I did not wish to remember that.
I could go the rest of my life without thinking about that again. Thanks.
Fair enough.
Because we didn't kill it, right? It got away.
No, it got away.
Yeah, it slipped away.
It bounced away.
It bounced
Perhaps
out.
now I may be able to stop that, but then I was not able
We are
to.
stronger now than we were before.
I've learned a few techniques in the meanwhile.
There is that.
So lean back and be like, "You hear that, Velis? You're surrounded by badasses now."
Look,
What
all I'm
exactly
saying is I've tried to get answers other ways, and nothing's turned up. So this is an opportunity I'm having a very hard time turning my back on.
We also don't know if it's even still down there.
There is also that.
If it got out before.
For my tracking and making sure that I'm understanding correctly, has anybody specifically named this thing or said when it does?
Nope.
Yeah.
No.
Do we know?
Because Leah is like, Leah's like listening, and they're all talking about these things, but she's just like, I still don't know what it is that you. All I know is it has Velis terrified, and not much does that.
Well, yeah, there was a lot where he grew up.
And also the last one we encountered did
almost
very, very, very close to killing him.
Yeah.
To, tentacling his face and sucking out his...
Assuming that the gruesome marks on that ghost's face are what it does not sound like something I would just casually walk into.
No, generally speaking.
No,
there's nothing casual about this discussion.
There's nothing casual about what we're suggesting.
But at least we are better prepared in knowing what it may do and where it is, if it is down there. We have time to plan.
Yeah.
And I believe
that is what we have now.
Who's to say we don't know if it's aware of us or not up here.
Yeah.
I know nothing about how they work, but I do know, or I'm fairly certain that if we are not all in this together, it is not going to turn out well. Kind of looking at Velis in particular, too. Of just
Velis went upstairs.
He went upstairs like the whole... Is he already gone?
Yeah, he left.
Well, he responded after he said he left, so I wasn't sure he was still here. So looking at where he had left from, of just... We are going to need him if we go down there.
Well, we're not... You don't want to count on him fighting these things. Even if he's there, doesn't mean he's going to be any use.
It's complicated.
Sure.
Sort of.
I would have hoped he had gotten past that by now. But...
I mean, he's better than he was. Getting there. But trauma's a hard thing to,
Just get past.
to get past that level of, like, I've seen,
Out of curiosity, Brendan, for the DM, I was like, as Leah being a furball growing up in this forest and with her parents being who they were,
Right.
I'm just like, how much was she exposed to as a child? Because I'm honestly I'm wondering how much she actually might be able to relate to Velis in this situation.
So
Of,
the
like,
role that initially you were sheltered because you were sort of supposed to take over as caretaker.
Yeah, but she also liked to try and wander out, I feel like.
Once you started wandering out and encountering these creatures and fighting them and eventually joining sort of the home guard, you saw all kinds of horrific monsters. Never a mind flayer, specifically.
Yeah. I mean, I assumed by seeing the ghost, that was something I'd not encountered, which is also just a little unnerving. As I'm like, so what do they do different at home that has allowed Leah to cope with all of that? That's where I'm like,
it's a much more positive environment.
I was like, honestly, I think it is that, and it's not every man for himself.
It's a very different... You have a support system that...
It doesn't follow Lolth.
Yeah.
So, just, I guess, taking what her experiences are, is, I at least feel like someone has to try to talk to him. And I don't know, I've not been through everything you have been through with him, but I've also, I don't know, I've not seen him in that environment, but I've been in less than favorable environments myself. I don't know, promise me you won't go down there until I come back, and she's just gonna start heading up to follow where Velis went.
Okay.
Well, I guess we're waiting.
I'm gonna sit down and start taking a short rest.
There you go. Perfect.
Do that.
Yeah.
So where, I was like, she's gonna climb up after, or wherever out. He went back up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, out is flesh. So
she's going up, not out.
So I'll tell you what I was just typing to Brendan. Basically, he's just been sort of digging through everything upstairs in case there was any documentation or notes that anybody missed on what the fuck they were doing here.
Mm-hmm.
And doesn't find anything, but...
We're just gonna... Velis.
As you go up and look for Velis, you can see he's in one of the quarters, and it's kind of torn apart. It looked as if he was sort of ransacking it, and the ghost is there. Just
Does Velis seem to acknowledge or notice that the ghost is there?
The ghost is basically standing directly in front of him, and
you can't be doing this.
Get out.
Watch me.
And they're just sort of looking at one another, and you can see the ghost, instead of the elven form that you had seen, it looks the expression in the face looks sunken and sickly, and as something sort of very, very wrong with the figure. And then it sort of looks to you, says something that you can't quite understand, and then kind of winks out again. then a few moments later you begin to hear just the sort of low, wailing cry that you had heard before of something kind of screaming.
Can you hear that downstairs?
Yeah, you hear it. You basically hear it. Leah goes upstairs, and then a few moments later you hear that thing kind of picking up again.
What is it?
I don't like the sound of that.
That's a lovely noise.
Fellas, I
hate ghosts.
I do not know what you have experienced in your life, but I do know that you would not act this way without reason. And I am not hoping to change your mind or convince you of anything. I just simply want to try to understand.
I've watched those things kill a lot of people. I didn't want to lose. This is the first time in a while I've had people that I don't want to lose.
I have to admit, those are the noblest of reasons, and I honestly do have to agree with you there that I'm not sure that going after this thing is the right choice. But I do know that our chances of succeeding are significantly lower if we are not all in it together. And
Everyone else thinks it's just because of the war we fought one back in Tassawa, and won't deny that. Sometimes I still wake up thinking about that, but things are different in the Underdark. Couldn't tell you much about that time, but I was captured by their kind. I honestly am not entirely sure how I got out of it.
but you did. I have to believe that is not without reason. I know you do not necessarily follow any deity, but my experiences in life have taught me that oftentimes, whether or not we know it, someone is watching our back. And when we make it out of situations that should have cost us our lives, there is usually a reason for it. Perhaps you are... Something about you is able to fight back to these things. I don't know. But I do believe that all of our experiences are strong. You have been exposed to a lot of what I grew up surrounded with. They tried to keep me from it when I was younger, but curiosity always got the best of me. I've seen horrible, horrible things, and yet here I am, and I'm charging into the very heart of it. Because I know that there's something wrong.
That's some hero out here trying to make some difference. I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing here.
You are a hero, Bellis. Whether or not you
You
realize
met me?
it,
What?
I think of it this way. When Wardir set out, he may have thought of himself as this legendary person someday who led his people to victory and split ways with the evil council, but I have to imagine wandering these woods for 100 years. He did not think of himself as any hero, as any legendary great person. He probably saw himself as the person who led his people into ruin and death, and perhaps part of that was right, but he did make it out eventually. He is a man of legend now, and some could consider him a hero. Oftentimes, we don't realize the weight of our actions in our lives.
I'm just one fucked up person among a lot of fucked up people. Trying to figure
The
out
best
why I'm
kind
here.
of people.
That's true.
Let us help you figure out why you're running away, though, is not going to bring you answers.
I don't know how to do much but run away. It's kind of what I've been doing this whole time.
In all our years, surrounded by darkness and aberrations, home has not fallen because home has stood together. And while yes, it brings heartbreak and loss, it is the very thing that makes us strong. Connection.
I can't promise I'll be of any use.
Nobody can make promises in the face of
I can't promise I can fight something like that, but fuck it. No, I don't want to turn my back on everyone else if they're gonna throw themselves into this.
I will lend you all the aid that I can.
You have my glaive and my sword.
Yes. I was literally sitting here going, can Velis wield a glaive? That'd be a really funny picture, though, of this, like, drow rogue just like, glaive!
I feel like that would work. He's so skinny.
I know. So like no falling over with it. Yeah.
No, he has real bad strength. He couldn't even lift it.
I think that you're proficient with it because you're proficient with martial weapons.
Technically, how effective it is, I don't know.
Yeah.
9 strength.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
versus Leah's 19. Yeah.
area too. The lack of strength.
Or 17. She's 17 strength, not 19. Still. Yeah.
Turn around and actually like walk up to Leah, just hold out a hand. I will try.
She will take his hand, and it's the best any of us can do.
Just be careful.
Of course. I have your back. We all have each other's. Hoppers in the window.
Just watching the dog. I was sitting in the window.
I don't know.
It's great. It's so funny funny. I'm like, oh, it's like when Mona does that, except it's a dog.
What are you doing, buddy?
Who's that? In the middle of the serious moment, sorry. Distracted by dog.
The dog was climbing the couch. It's funny.
She says they have each other's backs, and Bella's just says, I'm starting to see that.
You're stuck with us.
Out of curiosity, too, just part of it just occurred to me. I have this necklace from my mother. I could actually cast Detect Magic on it, but do I, like, sense anything out of it either? Or, like, I don't know if I even would have known if it was literally just her necklace or whatever, but I would assume Leah's been wearing it.
If you've been wearing it, I mean...
Yeah, she absolutely would have put it on. I didn't think about it last week, but yeah.
There isn't anything special about it that you noticed. The voice of your mother doesn't suddenly fill your mind or anything.
Well, yeah, I wasn't...
You do find it comforting
Okay.
to have a piece of her after her being just missing for so long.
Yeah. It was like slightly random, but yeah. Talking about her past and what makes her stronger occurred to me. So I just want to ask that. Just make sure, yeah.
Let's see if that's done while that's going on. I want to ritual cast divination, and I've been trying to figure out the best way to.
Divination. Have you cast it within the last? Or was it since you took a long rest? No, you haven't.
I've not. We talked about it, but I never actually did.
Right.
I guess if I want to ask, like, will we find answers if we go below? Whatever, downstairs? I don't know if that's a good way to... I'm trying to think of the best way.
Will we find any of the answers we are currently searching for?
Will we find any of the answers we are currently seeking on the lower level of this tower? Is there a reason to go down there?
Okay, you ask a single question. So
I guess I've been trying to figure. I guess will we find it? That's why I've been debating, like, which is the way the better way to phrase it.
Think about it for a moment. I'm going to think about it for a moment. I've been drinking a lot of water, so I'm going to take another quick bio break while you formulate a question and I brainstorm an answer.
I am going to pop off for a minute during that and take the dog out because I think he may need to go out, and that's why he's being so full of vim and vigor.
Actually, switch over to my phone.
Feel bad if we end up doing a combat, I will probably be gone by that point, or have to run out.
Nobody warned me that I was gonna have to go into Velis trauma brain today.
Sorry, you have therapist Leah today, not angry. Grow up, Velis, Leah. Which is what she was the first time, but I was like, more and more, she's trying to understand him. And I'm just like, this is such good character development arc stuff because, it's good because Leah is actually. I'm just like, I'm seeing this friendship starting to form, and I was like, oh no, now like Leah Velis friendship is the most important thing, and like, it's so good. Dark gray and blue gray friend.
Team gray. I can't stop messing with my hair because I love it so much.
Yeah.
It's so pretty.
Well, I mean, I imagine, does it also have that feeling of, like, freshly dyed hair that's, like, super silky?
It's so
It's been forever since I dyed my hair, but I definitely love that feeling.
Yeah, I gave it a good, like, conditioning right after I rinsed the dye out, and it's just so soft.
Me? Yeah. Several times in college.
And because my tips have
when you first met me, I'm pretty sure was when I had black hair. Actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I had black hair for a couple months.
I'm really tempted to go purple, honestly.
Yeah, I've thought about it to see if my new job.
I just learned that I'm able to get my VP gave me the go ahead, so I can do it.
Team Purple. This is this is one of, I can't remember exactly what shade it is, but this is Arctic Fox.
Oh, that's Jen used that brand. Randomly, one of our former coworkers would use that brand.
An actual colorist agreed
actually,
to like do
I think that's the color that Duzzy dyed her hair, John.
Oh.
When Duzzy dyed her hair purple, I think it was because it was purple from Arctic Fox, and I'm like looking at it. It's through a camera, but I'm like, I think that's about the shade. Yeah.
I wish you could see it in person because it's like, especially the tips are so much more vivid than my camera shows.
It's really like that purple for Dragon Con. It would match our lipstick.
I love it so much. Also, the dye smelled like grape.
Yeah,
nice. I mean, that's way better than normal dye smells.
Yeah, it does. It didn't smell like dye at all. It just smelled like grape.
Bad. Are you sure you didn't just put grape juice in your hair?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, I part of my bathroom is purple. When
that's why I'm gonna stick to going to the colorist. Like, said he'd do it for us. So.
See, it's like that's expensive.
Okay.
Yeah, he was nice enough to like say, "I'll do it pro bono because I really like you guys." Like, okay, I'll give it a shot. I feel bad about it, but he's very nice. He does amazing work. So,
Kitty, sweater. So, I guess I'll just ask you guys. Do you think asking if we'll find the answers we're looking for below is the better way to?
If you say the answers we're looking for, that I'm
looking for are.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
the answers we're currently seeking.
But what if we'll find answers we didn't know we wanted?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think just the way I think your first thought was fine. Just if we'll find answers.
Will we find answers to anything we're searching for on our various quests?
Yeah. Just will we find answers if we go? Okay.
Mom, do we really have to open the door?
I don't wanna do it.
Do it soon. I want to fight something before I have to leave.
Yeah.
I don't wanna.
Okay.
I want to go in adrenaline pumping.
I'll be right back. I forgot I was going to grab water.
So, it is 6:30 my time, 9:30 your time. What is your cutoff?
10:30. I gotta be okay. Maybe like 10:25 because I have to walk down the hall to get the sound check.
So you've got 45 to 50 minutes from this moment. Okay.
I'm good all night.
Yeah. We can. I'm just grabbing water, so if we want to.
Sure. Okay. So the question was, will we find?
Will we find?
Is Jewish? Oh. She's muted. But is she AFK?
I think she
had to walk the dog out.
Pee break.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Took the dog for a quick potty break. So.
Yeah.
All right. We'll wait till she gets back. We've got time.
Yeah. But yeah, I think.
How long will that be?
Also, I'm waiting on food to get here. So.
But yeah, I think we decided on will we find answers if we go to the level below, whatever.
While we're waiting, actually, I gotta run to the bathroom.
So the Picard trailer that dropped?
I've not watched that yet.
Yeah, I saw that.
Apparently, like, their high-tech Starfleet building is the Anaheim Convention Center.
That's what it was in one.
Oh yeah, I saw
it just in case.
Saw somebody there. It's like, oh wait, I had somebody like posted. I can't wait to see Picard at BlizzCon.
Yeah. Maybe I'm thinking of a different movie that used it. Oh boy. I need to go fabric shopping tomorrow.
Oh god, I'm kind of freaking out about. I feel like I'm not gonna have anything from UpSuriCon at all.
Yeah, I mean, I'm bringing Chrono and Molly and entering Chrono in the actual masquerade and Molly in the whatever showcase one on Friday.
Yeah.
Just because I want to run around on stage as Molly Mock Tea Leaf.
Well, yeah. I had some things I wanted to get done, but I mean, things have been just kind of insane with like, and now I've got a million budget things that I'm thinking about. Like, oh, I still need a million things for Jester, or even if I just do Kotetsu, there's still a lot of things I need. But aside from like con, which I feel like that's just going to be an at con. What's a nearby tattoo place that's open adventure? Because I'm trying to look into tattoo shops in Columbus and I'm indecisive, so I feel like it's just going to be like, what can I get to?
Yeah. I mean, I'm still thinking of maybe bringing Katra just because that's a comfy, easy one. I did have thought, since we could do like just casual modern versions of, our D&D characters.
Yeah! Yeah!
I would have to find something to wear for Velis, but that's probably...
Black.
I have so many black button-up shirts I can lend you.
Yeah, I was like, you've done casual Vax how many times?
Casual Vax so many times. Like, I have so many black button-up shirts.
I can use half of my casual Vax for my casual Vax for Velis. I do still have lots of gray paint, so...
Yeah.
Someday I would love to get Aaliyah together, but I'm like, how do Furball? That's a lot of makeup and ears.
Yeah. But like, I want to try to get Gojo done. That's a very much a maybe. If I can get him done for Matsuricon.
I was like, that was OhioCon when I first met you, Kristen, when we were talking about that.
You
and
have
I'm like,
stuff for Sanzo.
I
have nothing for Hakai. Someday.
I have more than half of my stuff for Sanzo, I think.
Your stuff for Sanzo.
Yeah, I just need to actually sew the rest of it.
I don't think I'd be able to get the staff done in time.
Yeah.
But like, literally the only things I don't have ready to go are the jacket and the staff. I have contacts on the way. Because I realized, I was like, I'm just going to go ahead and buy red contacts because I've used them for Molly and Chrono as well, so...
Okay.
Welcome back! Now
It remains super gross outside.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
And good news, Natalie Portman's coming back as Thor.
What?
In the MCU.
In the new Thor.
Damn, what?
Wait,
Yeah.
what?
They're Thor 4.
Thor 4, Love and Thunder.
Holy shit, they're doing it.
I'm so glad that Taika Waititi is directing again.
And apparently, like, as they announced it, Natalie Portman walks back on stage. And I guess Love and Thunder was part of the run where it was Thor, Jane Foster as Thor.
Nice.
Wait, she is actually... I did not mishear you. She is coming back as Thor?
That's
Potentially.
It's just blowing up on Twitter at this very moment,
I did not...
As far as anyone knows.
But yeah.
I'm excited.
Chris Hemsworth, Tessa Thompson, Natalie Portman, Taika Waititi returning as director, November 5th, 2021.
I'm excited.
Okay, so, okay.
Kristen.
Missing Kristen.
Kristen!
No!
Yeah.
I should have cut out this part.
Yeah, Haku would have probably kept going on that walk if I'd let him. But one, I wanted to get back, and two, it's gross as heck out there.
Yeah.
Like, how, dog?
Yeah.
How are you not melting?
Mm-hmm.
It's, 9:30 at night, dark out, and it's still feels like it's almost 100 degrees outside.
Yeah.
Those are now my stress balls for the night.
I don't know if she's coming back or not.
Okay. I will be right back. I'm gonna go get food.
Oh no. Yeah.
Oh,
Here we go.
we'll see if that chills out the doggo a little at this point.
Mhm.
He was chill most of the day, and this evening he's been a little bit. But he didn't get, we didn't take nearly as long walks today as we usually do. So normally he gets much longer walks, but I was not staying out there that long. So he got multiple short walks instead.
Mhm.
Everyone takes a short rest.
That's good.
Yeah.
I don't know if I...
Film that. I think I didn't use anything last time, so I think I'm okay.
Yeah, I don't think I need that, but that's good to know.
I mean, I was just down a spell slot. But...
Yeah. Well, it's always good to have both of them.
Right, but we're ritual cast identify, so she didn't actually do the first level.
Yeah, that's why I.
Yeah, Leah did use up a third level earlier, but she has one more.
I have not actually used any spell slots left.
Yeah.
Yet.
Yeah, no, Wiria's got all her spell slots.
Okay. Oh no, I'm be
I'm gonna cast sword so many times.
Sword, yes.
Oh wait, no. I'm alt tabbing.
Yeah, it's like Krista, get back, and Trisha got up.
And like every moment I come back, there's like a different video gone.
Jerisha's here. She's just not on camera.
Okay, she's on audio. Okay, that's fine. As long as she's on audio.
Okay.
So, Elias casts divination.
I'm just like, well, fine. You know what? Plunk myself down and.
Is it a ritual or?
Yes,
I think
some
it's
ritual.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'm taking the 10 minutes to.
And the
Have
question
spell
is,
time.
do we find answers below?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. You finish the spell and you just sort of ask the question. Everyone's kind of like looking around, waiting to see what happens.
This is while we're still
This
upstairs,
is while,
right?
this is while Leah and Velis are upstairs having their moment. Just be like, you know what?
Okay. So when you finish casting your spell, the sound of that sort of low wailing cry just instantly goes out. And then rising up through the floor is that ghost. But you can immediately see that the body language and the way the ghost carries itself is radically different from everything that you had seen before. And it just sort of slowly rises up directly in front of you. And when it speaks, you don't hear the same voice that you heard before. Instead, you hear this echoless, strangely omnipresent voice. And everybody hears this in common.
Ooh.
Which I guess Leah and Velis, as you're sort of finishing up, you hear this voice almost as if it's spoken from around you and almost within you.
I was gonna say, do we hear it?
Yeah, it's a resonant.
It's like
there's no echo, there's no reverberation, but it is a capital V voice that you hear speaking up, and it just says, "Yes."
Okay. Tad more dramatic than I was expecting, but.
Good enough for me.
Well,
All right.
I guess she got tired of all of the flack she was getting for the Wild Mother can be direct, why can't the Raven Queen?
that was surprisingly direct.
We did ask no question.
And
I can do it too.
I just don't like to.
And like the figure of the elf, the ghost, it sort of like kind of like shakes its head, sort of disoriented, and kind of looks at you, and then almost like as if it had been suspended in the air, falls, sort of like stumbling onto its feet. And when it looks at you, it just sort of gets down on a knee, and you can see this.
Awkward.
There's this gesture. It's not exactly like the sign of the cross, because that's not a thing in Exandria and the Raven Queen, but rather it's sort of
Exandrian equivalent of.
it's a very old and outmoded gesture.
Probably something we've seen it like.
Yeah, it's
books or something.
Sometimes people do it like you've heard, but it's kind of out of fashion, and even like in the Temple of the Raven Queen in Vasselheim, people don't do it anymore. But it used to be much more common, where they would sort of pass their hand in front of their face, sort of like a veil, sort of like this, and then clutch their like their hand into a fist to their chest, and the ghost kind of does this, and sort of holds the pose there. Cortanus, as you see the ghost do this, you flash back to a memory, and it's that sense of deja vu again. And you see, it is just a brief flash. It is a small human child. And you can see they kind of do that same motion, but this is sort of like a sort of a facepalm in frustration. They shake their head and look up at you. And you can see this expression of frustration and exasperation, and you can't quite make out what's around you. You just see this child making this expression, and just sort of refusing you. No, sister. And then it's gone. And you're sort of back looking at.
Sorry, I knew Maggie would at least appreciate it. I had to. You were describing this pose, and I was like, I have to.
I have a mouth of rice.
I don't know if anybody else has seen Groshitsuji, so John has, but yeah.
Continue. Sorry.
Yeah, she just like that just kind of like shocks her hands and just like whispers the word brother. And then just shakes her head.
Questioning whether or not I would hear that.
Yeah. I was like, where are Leah and Velis in this? I was like, was this before we got back down? Have we gotten back down? Or
you're probably like, you just heard this voice like, just say, yes.
Yeah, so I feel like we're like, time to go downstairs. What was that? Yeah.
So
we're like,
Velis goes back down, probably first.
Yeah.
Was there any features, or was it just a silhouette still? Just the motion, but like, was all the features like silhouette still?
Of the
child
figure, the child? No, you saw full face, and it was a young human child, and if anything, they looked just incredibly familiar to you. But of note, you noticed that they had the same sort of dark auburn hair that you did, sort of, and just a very familiar look about them.
Yeah. Seeing that, like, there might even like be a slight tear down her face, just like she didn't even realize it was happening. Just immediate shock, and after a second, she just realized she was crying. wipes it away and just like looks very shocked.
Do I notice this?
You may not be because the ghost stands up and it had been like wielding this sort of ghostly glaive and kind of waving it about, but instead now the ghost sort of draws out a sword and kind of goes into a stance and salutes and just sort of stands there ready.
Well, that's weird.
Looking directly to you, Elias.
Well, this is awkward. This is new.
And I would say all of this activity of sort of hanging out and talking and conversing and rituals and stuff would mean that you'd get that short rest. For reference.
I don't think I get anything from one anyways.
No.
I'll just sort of nod respectfully, slightly confused, but okay.
Assuming we get back down and see this weird state of confusion everybody seems to be in at different things.
Yeah.
So Leah's just going to be
Elias.
Things happen, capital T, capital H.
We heard a voice.
Oh, you all heard that.
Yeah, no, we also heard say yes.
Takes a second, but Katara suddenly pulls out her journal and just starts writing furiously. Like maybe doing a little bit of gesture.
Okay.
There's a lot to happen down here.
So
Short
yes,
timers.
apparently we will find answers if we go downstairs.
That's good.
I have to admit, was not really the answer I was hoping for.
You were hoping it would be a resounding no.
No, okay, don't go. No. Problem solved. Let's go. But apparently, yes, we will most definitely find some kind of answers.
But that did seem far more definitive than I would have expected. From past experience.
I have a ghost now, apparently.
Yes,
you've made a ghost friend.
I have made a ghost friend. Subordinate? I don't know. He's very serious.
Yeah, he's still in like a guarded position, sort of almost as if he's standing there waiting for orders.
Well,
I'm not usually the one giving the orders.
I think the ghost
Is that the truth?
My guess would
I
be
was
the
not
ghost
an
is
officer.
only going to take your orders, though.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that would be my assumption as well.
Yeah, I guess I'll ask. I guess through Hippopotamus. I don't know if he'll fight with us if we go.
She might like look up at that. I'm sorry. What did you say, Lord?
Join.
Quickly starts putting it away.
It seems like he doesn't speak common. I'll translate like, will he fight alongside us if necessary? Can he fight alongside us?
I don't know how much you still be, but I'll take it.
Aren't they able to assist us in the old Elvish?
I will fight for my queen.
She just gives a nod to Elias.
Okay.
If we're doing this, can I at least give a suggestion?
Sure.
Go for it.
Once we turn that and unlock whatever this is, then maybe I can at least feel how many things are down there. I'd rather not walk into a crowd without knowing.
Jesus Christ.
Katasa's gonna look over to the soldier. Was there only one?
Nods.
It seemeth there was one creature down there. Whether I know not how it reproduces, but I doubt.
Instantly,
I think we're all just gonna laugh at that.
Do we have a cleansing stone for brains?
Oh gosh.
She's a little scatterbrained for the moment. She's just like shaking her head at that.
My mind just went to a dark place.
Or do we want to go to it?
Now, all I have is just a mental image of Clarota dressed as a milkmaid.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
The brain churning milkmaid.
No!
Oh! No.
Now I'm like, do I even want to make that a card? Because I feel like it's so bad it has to be, though.
Mind flare erotica.
The brain churning milkmaid, yes. I was like, oh,
Brian Brain.
It's Brian. Brian. I knew it,
Brian.
that gives it like a whole new meaning. Oh, come on. Why is this being dumb? There we go.
I still know very little about your goddess, my lord, but I believe she hath given me a gift, and I'm willing to fight for right now.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I guess she really wants us to go down there.
Well, if it's that important. I don't quite know.
I'm not going to argue it.
Just picture mind flare porn the entire time. It'll be fine.
Or don't.
Oh my god.
I immediately regret saying that.
Is that better or worse than the laughter?
Those were words.
Look,
that
the Velas is giving Elias.
I immediately regret everything that just came out of my mouth. Because yeah. I have dug my own grave, and now I must lie in it, because now I'm picturing it.
The ghost orders his sword and sort of just looks at you expectantly.
Oh, I was gonna say,
you have to follow my. I'm so sorry.
Leah, to the best of her judgment or whatever, or I guess the best she can do is just ask.
What?
Anyway.
Oh, are these creatures aberrant in nature? Do you happen to
Definitely.
know?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I mean, I was assuming so, but Leah's just wanted to kind of double check because she can basically aid Velas in that. Actually, I don't think she can detect that. It's the thing I get confused of. Her, maybe she can't.
What you smite versus what you sense.
Yeah, like I can turn aberrations. I think that's the one that we had changed.
Right.
To be aberrations or fiends. Yeah, the divine sense is.
It's still divine stuff, extraplanar stuff.
Yes.
What kind of
Yeah.
What kind of saving throw was it again versus the stunning effects and stuff?
Probably intelligence.
It was an intelligence save.
Okay, that's not going to be quite as useful then. But
we have a paladin.
Yeah, we do. I do have Beacon of Hope prepared, but that's a wisdom saving throws. Although it would give us
it might have something. Who knows?
Healing.
Yeah, it gives us better healing and advantage on death saves. Worst case scenario.
Yeah, I mean, where I could slap protection from good and evil on somebody.
Yeah, I will say for that sake, regardless of if it comes down to it, Leah will switch to one of her stronger healing auras. But as basically once we go down in this thing,
want to help with.
Leah is slapping protection of good and evil on Velas and is going to hold it as long as she absolutely can.
And while everyone else is preparing spells and stuff, Velas is just kind of mentally trying to prepare himself to deal with this.
I think Aiden is just tapping his foot at
just
Klaus is the most focused and determined you've probably ever seen her in a very long while right now.
We'll probably just walk over.
I mean, he's not just impatient. He seems a bit on edge.
Like,
I mean, I feel like we're all that to some extent.
Yeah, walk over to Velas real quick and just be like, look, I know I get it, but don't forget, we are a lot stronger now than we were before, than you were before whatever happened to you. I don't think I've gotten the full story out of you. When whatever happened to you happened, like, we're pretty tough. You're surrounded by a group of badasses that, don't run away from stuff, even when they should.
That's both good and bad, I think.
Yeah. I know.
So, yeah.
And if you want the story, I'll tell you later. Don't have anything to hide. You're right.
And,
let's get this over with,
just
right?
punch you in the face and take your food up or something.
You might need it.
If you need it.
I'll hold you to that.
I have 2 fists. Alright. Yeah.
So who's gonna...
As soon as someone turns it...
Well, who is...
Kalasa gonna stay by the... Yeah, Kalasa's staying by the thing up front, just in case anything comes...
I'm staying up front. I've got full blade out.
Yep.
You said that
big enough stone.
you were going to be concentrating, right, Lois, on your permeable awareness? Okay.
That way, as soon as it's turned, I'll be able to pick up any blips down there.
Sure.
Well, how about Weirya be the one who turns it then? Because she's the one who operates from the back anyway.
Okay. Yeah, I mean...
I feel like it'd be her, or Leah is probably next to Velas, just kind of like has a hand on his shoulder. I'm assuming you're like probably close to the ground, so.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm gonna wait until it looks like things are about to pop off, casting Beacon of Hope, because that only lasts for a minute, so which we're actually in combat.
Yeah. Oh, protection from evil and good is 10 minutes. Nice.
Yes. Yeah, it says concentration, which is the tricky bit.
But still, I mean, like almost all of my spells are concentration, so.
Right. well, so same sort of with Weirya, but that's why it's like, oh, do you use it or not, right? It's like some spells are concentration.
Yeah.
Weirya turns the dial. And you look over at the flagstones, all of you watching, where you can see the sort of gentle glow begin to fade. And then all of you hear just the sound of sort of like some kind of mechanical something. Sort of slide, and then like a thunk. And then noiselessly, you just see the flagstone raise up.
Ready?
You're all...
Nope.
As soon as the flagstone raises and where you see the glow fade, you all begin to hear this whispering sound in the backs of your minds. You can't quite make it out. Except Velas and Aiden. You both understand this. This is in deep speech. And you just hear this low, repeating voice. They are the three. Three they are. They are the three. Three they are. They have come. Three. They are the three. And it's this sort of mad rambling that's... Some of it you don't even understand, but there's always this sort of repeating pattern of something in three. And it's you just all hear in the backs of your minds something, this voice. And most of you, it's this sort of strange, gurgly emanation that Velas and Aiden, you can both understand. Can you speak deep speech, Beth?
No.
Yeah? Oh, I'm sure, Beth, you don't. But
Funny, no.
No, okay.
I was.
Our high school carried that as an option.
Yeah, you know, right?
An exchange student to the far realm.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say though, just upon this unnerving noise in her head or whatever, and from whatever she's, heard from big party, and Velis, upon hearing this in her mind, if she has her hand on Velis's shoulder, she's just going to ever so slightly like tighten her grip and just kind of do one of those like, like, what is this? This doesn't feel good. Like not not death grip, but just the slightly tighter.
And as that sound starts up, do I start to feel things?
Yes,
presences?
you do sense a singular, strong presence of an aberration. And when you concentrate on it, you do recognize it. This sensation, the what you get off of it. It feels familiar, but at the same time unusual, strange. It could just be the weird voice in the back of your head.
I think
seems to have gone a bit mad.
Yeah, it's been down there for a long time.
Weird whispering starting. Elias is just under his breath, just gonna be like, "Promise me, I'm not sending them to their deaths." Not expecting an answer.
I'm just gonna look back to everybody to see what they're doing.
There's only one.
Ready?
I was gonna say, did Val say there's only one?
Yeah.
Whatever.
All right.
Yeah.
Just said it.
Okay.
Alright, I'm jumping down.
Okay. So there's a ladder, but it's probably it's short. It's only maybe about 10 feet. So you hop down. And the room is in complete disarray. You're not even sure what this may have been at some point. But what strikes you immediately is every square inch of the walls, the ceiling, the floor, and even what remains of objects and stuff in this room is covered in the strange braille-like writing of the Illithid. And so as you come down, which you can read, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw as
I was gonna say,
by psychic braille of a room full of Illithid.
Braille.
Is he the only one in the room still? Like
he
this is just him immediately, so he dropped down, right?
Right. What is the radius of your aura, by the way?
Yeah, I was about to ask that.
Me?
Yeah.
It's a 10-foot radius.
Yeah, he just dropped down 10 feet, which means he's out of the aura.
6.
Yeah.
And I did not
6.
cast Beacon.
No! We're gonna have to fight Aiden now, crap! No.
Shit.
You land, and your vision kind of goes dark. It's just this psychic wave hits you, and almost as a protective measure, you are stunned. So you hear Aiden fall down or jump down, and then it's just silence. Who's standing there?
Going next. Go next.
Yeah.
I was like, was Elias casting anything? Or I don't know what you were waiting.
Elias cast Beacon of Hope. You cast
I'll go
Protection.
ahead and cast Beacon of Hope. Can I?
It all kind of happened right now.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Yep.
It's a
I was
30-foot
gonna say-
range, so I can get Aiden in it.
You could have gotten it just before he went down.
Yep.
Okay.
Jump it down.
So that gives him advantage on it?
So then you would have advantage if
Yeah.
Advantage on wisdom saves?
it gives you advantage on wisdom.
That's
saves,
why
yeah.
he.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why.
I mean, there's other benefits,
Yeah.
but yes, that's
That's the big one.
16.
Okay.
Ah.
So you go down, and you are not stunned, but it's almost blind. The thing about Illithid writing is that it looks just like kind of like a weird wavy braille, and you actually normally have to touch it because it's like a weird psychic thing.
Yeah.
Except your ability to both understand deep speech and also read any writing means that you were assaulted with the ravings of an Illithid that had been trapped in a space for nearly a millennia, and everything that it had written on the wall and carved into things, basically it was just sort of all at once.
I imagine I I just like stumble back against the wall, basically.
Right.
Like, oh, sensory overload.
You're not stunned, but I would say that you're briefly and momentarily incapacitated by this. Cortana, if you drop down and you just kind of see Aiden stumbling back, it's dark. There's a little bit of light emanating from whoever has light up above, but you can't see anything unless you're the one wearing the goggles.
I got the one wearing the goggles of night.
Okay. So what you see is just debris and trash and may have been at some point metal bars that they're like. Everything in this room is just the floor is covered in piles of debris and trash. And at the far end of the room, you just see this sort of like a slight sort of bump in the layer of stuff on the ground, just stirred just a little bit.
If there was movement, they were going towards that, like racing towards that.
Okay. Cortana drops down and sort of begins to dart forward. What is everyone else doing?
I'll drop down.
Yeah.
I'll cast light on my shield as soon as I hit the ground because it's dark.
Yeah. Wuria, Velis, and Leah. What are you doing?
I'm casting the protection from evil and good as soon as Velis gets up, and then basically I'm assuming following like right behind Velis, assuming Velis is going down on his own will.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Waria would come down after
yeah.
everybody. She's not going to stay up top when everyone's down
Yeah.
there. She's she's not going early in the group.
I
The
think it's
sound that is in everybody's head rises
Velis
in
was
volume.
gonna follow Cortanus, but activate the dagger of venom and then jump down.
Okay. What I need everyone to do is roll initiative.
Whee!
Do it.
Oh, I meant to roll. I got out all my d20s and was like, I'm going to roll these to figure out which one to use.
Oh no!
I don't know if there's
I didn't roll.
tokens on the battlefield, so give me a
There is
second.
no battlefield.
Right.
Ooh!
Give me a second.
I rolled low!
Thank you, suitcase.
I'm double digits, guys!
Oh, here we go.
Plus 0!
Nice.
Woo!
Alright, so I can give people turns now.
Hooray!
We're at the river.
Yeah.
I was like, there's a river down here?
I didn't quite prep that, so oops.
It's okay. It's fine. This is fine. Everything's fine.
We're good. You should always know if you're giving us a monster, we're going to fight it. And
Oh,
Except
there
that
have
one
been
time.
times where you're like, oh, narrow.
We noped the fuck out of that cave.
Yeah.
Okay.
Times, or we've been just like, nope.
Okay, here we go. I think that's everybody.
Okay.
And I need to make the turn thingy, and then I need to clear everything that's there, and then I need to give everybody turns. Alright, there we go. Okay, that card might work.
Getting 8 hours of sleep.
I just want to say, appropriately, I rolled a 3 and an 8.
Alright.
this might be the highest I've ever rolled on initiative, because I have a plus 0, and I'm like, woohoo!
Yay!
I mean, it's not
Yay.
terrible for the cleric to go last.
No. This is fine. Everything is fine.
Yeah, whereas it's like frustrating when the paladin is always last, because I'm like,
Yeah.
a lot of my things are like preparatory buffs, whereas the cleric has a lot more able to patch things afterwards. Like, it's like I get out.
You can help next round.
Sorry, I hope that's not too loud. I have to switch between
I did not
screens
type it
every
in
time I
here.
mute myself.
Yeah.
Alright, so is that a circle on everybody's screen? Yes, okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so, everybody's tokens should be controllable just like before. I would say Cortanus is kind of in front, so the shade that you're seeing is kind of here,
Okay.
off in this corner. So you can kind of
On top of our
sort
lives.
yourselves accordingly. What did you get for initiative? 8, 3, 15? I should probably
Dallas was 15.
qualify that.
15.
Alright.
Stop it.
I was like, I have 4 hit points. Why is this doing this?
I did my due diligence.
Alright. So, just imagine the battle music started. Krakonis is dashing forward.
Yep. So, yep.
So, you see, as you dash forward, a figure rise up, and its silhouette is vaguely familiar to the creature that you saw in the mine quite a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
But this creature, it's not wearing any sort of elaborate robe. Its form is hunched, and you can see that its skin is dried and cracked. It looks as if there's scarring all up and down its body. Whereas the creature that you saw before had this sort of like weird, fish-like, moist, glistening skin. This creature is skin is dry and cracked and peeling. Its form is emaciated. Its flesh is drawn tight across whatever skeletal system that it has. And you can see that whatever eyes it once had have long since been gouged out, almost. And it sort of like turns its head, sort of not quite seeing. And the tentacles that were sort of once long and sort of wiggly are kind of like hanging somewhat lifeless, and they look, one of them is even torn and missing. And this creature is, looks to just be in a ravaged state. But as you get closer, it seems to be honing in on you. Elias's shield.
Okay.
As you get close to it, it seems to sort of recognize your presence. And the appendages kind of like peel back a little bit, and you can see that sort of weird circular lamprey, toothy-like maw.
What's the radius on light?
20 foot right?
Yeah.
And then another 20 foot dim.
Okay. So it's enough.
Yeah.
And
So yeah, I guess
you go first.
Yep. So let's deal with this, shall we? First one is 16.
Okay.
oh yeah, this lights up.
The 16.
As you go to strike, you get this strange wave of nausea washing over you, and you sense that sort of coming from this creature, and it almost what you thought would have been a true strike misses as you double over and sort of wind up for another hit.
Yeah, let's try this again.
Okay.
Not natural 20.
Okay, that does hit.
Okay. So that is 14 slashing damage, marking it, and then bonus action. That is a 25.
Ooh. To hit or
to hit
damage? Okay. Yeah, that definitely hits the creature.
Okay. That's another 7 slashing.
Okay. So a total of 21.
Who's gonna put a little dot on me to remind me that I'm concentrating?
Yeah,
there's no good icon.
Actually, yeah, I should
mark that fucker.
Similar, so I don't forget.
Alright.
She'll call back about the effect it gives off. To be careful.
Alright, minus 20.
What effect was that? Sorry.
It's got like some nauseous
psychic
thing that it does.
Yeah.
Okay. Aiden. It's difficult to process, all the words and language that you're seeing, but as it sort of begins to just feel overwhelming, and you hear that droning voice in your head sort of repeating, it just sort of slowly gets quieter and quieter and quieter, and you kind of shake the disorientation from your mind, and you save on your wisdom, so you can act this right.
All right.
But the voice has gotten to where it's not messing with your head as much. It's been quieted almost, like it's muted.
I'm just gonna move over here.
Okay.
And basically, just kind of call to the others and go, remember, we want answers.
Right.
What do you do?
I mean, how weak does this thing look? Is it just gonna keel over if, like...
Yeah.
I wasn't super paying attention to what Cortana's did to it.
Right. I mean, she cut the thing. It's unusual. It doesn't look healthy.
Mm-hmm.
But
does it still look hardy?
As far as you can tell, it's strange looking as it is.
Yeah.
I mean,
Speak with dead. We shall deal with this later.
We'll have that prepared, but we can kill it and I can talk to it tomorrow.
How is Speak with Dead not a domain spell for you?
It's not.
That's like
It's a knowledge domain spell, but
I know it is, but I'm like,
yeah. Nope.
you do dead things.
Yeah, well, no,
apparently. Or does it just have to be able to speak?
I think it just has to be able to speak.
Okay. What is Aiden doing?
I'll look it up. But
I'm taking shots.
Pew pew pew. Okay.
Those are both above 20.
Okay. They both strike the creature. And
well, I rolled really low.
Okay.
So that's 13. I'm doing necrotic.
Okay.
Oops, must still have a mouth.
I'm introducing myself.
All of you get this wave of pressure in your mind, and this feeling, it's a sensation of pain. As whatever.
I have the blade out, presented as best I can.
It seems almost blind and not quite.
That's true.
All there. Whatever this thing has gone through, it has lost its mind, and its movement is erratic, and it seems almost feral compared to the creature that you'd seen before. Okay, so but let's see here.
Where's our ghost friend?
Yeah.
Yeah,
do we have a
you don't see it at the moment.
Okay.
But
I would have signaled to it to him to.
He's standing up there waiting for orders still.
I would definitely say that's all a 60-foot cone. So it sort of like backs up a little bit, and kind of like looking around blindly, and just it doesn't say anything, but it looks as if it were to like be screaming fearily at everybody. Its tentacles kind of rising up and writhing, and I need everybody to make a intelligence saving throw as your minds are affected by psychic energy.
Which everybody except for Cortanus and
intelligence save
are in my range.
So what is your range, Dean?
You have a plus 4 to your saving throw.
Okay, cool.
Is this considered a spell for Mage Slayer?
Natural 20.
Okay.
9.
Natural 20 for Leah.
Dirty 20.
That's 13. And we get a plus 4?
Yeah, plus 4.
Okay.
Unless you are Aiden or Cortanus, because you're too far.
13.
19.
Okay.
If I fail, I'll use Indomitable if I need to.
Alright, so I was rolling, and let me just go down. Let me put it this way. Did anybody get less than 16?
I rolled a 9. I rolled a 4.
If you got less than 16, you failed.
Okay. I'm Indomitabling then.
Sure. If you failed, You take 23 points of psychic damage, and you are stunned.
Natural 19. Yes, thank
If
you, Dominic.
save, you take 11 points of psychic damage, and you are not.
Okay.
11.
11? Okay.
11. Not nearly as scary when you're like 6 levels higher.
Now that we're level 9.
Yeah, well, and I was looking, I was like, protection only is disadvantage on attack
No,
rolls.
not that
It doesn't
high.
give them advantage on
No,
save
we're like level 6 or 7, I think.
5 or 6,
Something
yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Can I just say that's more than a third of my HP? Still pretty scary.
Yeah, no, it's still scary. But yeah, you're stunned and okay. So let me mark object. Where's the?
You guys still hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Question: Was that technically a spell?
No.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, Cortana's asked that too.
Emanation. Wow,
Well, yeah.
Wow.
But like,
No, it was not a casting a spell.
okay.
Yeah.
Because if you're in my radius, you also are resistant to spell damage. So that's why I was just asking.
It was most decidedly not spell damage.
Okay. I was pretty sure not, but double check.
Cortana saved out of it with Indomitable, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Having done that, it just sort of is like backed up against the wall, and it's just sort of furiously like lashing out. Where ya? You're muted. Sorry.
I was yelling at the dog.
Like you do.
He was getting into something that he's not supposed to be getting into. Sorry.
Sure.
Uh-huh.
Is that the end of its turn?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll need to go in a few minutes, so someone feel free to move damage and Jaeger.
Okay.
A second. Okay, I guess for now, just let's. I guess Eldritch Blast pew pew this thing.
Sure.
One of those is a 26 to hit, but the other is only a 15 to hit.
Okay, the 26 hits. 15 to hit.
That is nice. That's 10 force damage. And I have to go yell at the dog, so I'll be right back.
All right. Leah.
So quick question. When it did this thing with whatever psychic wave, I feel like probably not, but did it have to, I know it didn't actually make noise, but did it motion at all or do anything? Okay.
It was not us casting a spell.
Okay. Basically, I mean, this whole time Leah's been trying to gauge of whether or not it'd be worth trying to restrain this creature or not. Does it seem like it could be a physical threat, or does it just seem like it's purely mental attacking things? What little, 3 seconds
in weird psychic things, but you do know that the ghost, there were multiple instances of the ghost physically trying to defend itself and keep the creature off of it. So there was physical altercation.
Okay.
We do have
so then I'm going to still go with my initial instinct here.
Sure.
That was slightly like, when Phyllis was hit. But I'm still going to go with my initial instinct, and I am going to use my Channel Divinity and
what's the range on
Nature's Wrath. Oh no, it's within 10 feet of me. No, I have to get closer.
You gotta get a lot closer. You can get
Turn the Faithless is 30 feet. I was thinking it was farther, but
Entangle, if you want to use the spell slot.
I don't have Entangle.
Yeah, you can get within 10 feet.
Entangle's not a
spell.
No, it's not.
Or not a domain, whatever. It's an oath spell.
1, 2, 3.
It's not
strike. Sorry,
yes,
ensnaring.
that is concentration, and I would drop my concentration on the protection spell.
Right.
Yeah. So
Question,
yeah.
Bess.
Yeah.
That spell you cast on Velis, would it have affected the damage that he took?
That's what I was looking. It doesn't affect the damage. They have disadvantage on any attacks against you, and you cannot be charmed, frightened, or possessed.
Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't give you advantage on saving throws, which is really annoying. When, like, aberrations, half the time, it's all saving throws.
That's alright.
Yeah, but if it tries to lash out at you ever, it does have a disadvantage. So yeah, okay. Knowing that I'm not, in fact, close enough to do that then, and I don't really feel like charging into it fully, I take that back and I am going to just not even fully turn around, but just... I'm assuming I can hear some gasp or something from Velas of being hit by this thing.
Yeah, Velas is clutching his head and leaning up.
She's just going to reach back and grab his arm and just lay on hands and pour 10 hit points back into him.
I gotta go, everyone. Sorry. Have a good rest of the time. Good luck.
Bye. Have a good show.
I'm going to try not to kill Cortana!
It's okay.
So, Velas, you get 10 hit points back.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just, aside, just, you can do this.
I think the doggo is confused because usually we're in my bedroom by this time.
He's like, when are we going to bed?
So he's being a spaz, because usually...
Right.
What's going on? And then I don't think I really have any bonus actions. There's not many bonus action options.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. Paladins get like bonus actions.
So yeah, I heal this.
Sure.
Which is
I spend my
good
turn
thing to
holding
do.
my head in pain.
Yeah, go ahead and make another saving throw.
Oh wait, can I use that to end the...
No.
No, it's poison.
That's it.
Okay.
Oh, that's actually really good. 18. No, 22. Because of her aura.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you shake off the effects of the mental blast from this creature. You're sort of clearing your head, but that was your turn. And at the end of your turn, it takes one of its legendary actions, and I need everybody to make a wisdom saving throw.
With advantage?
Everyone has
As
advantage.
these whispers begin...
Natural 20!
With advantage, because Beacon of Hope, as these whispers begin to get louder and louder in your mind.
I have a dirty 20.
Okay.
Thank you, advantage, because I have a natural 20 instead of a 3+ whatever. So
Dirty 20.
Okay.
That's a nat 20 without the advantage.
Aiden and
First
Cortana.
die.
23.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I need to roll for.
Sure.
I roll
yeah.
for I don't know. I don't have her character sheet up, but ooh, probably not good. I rolled a 7. I don't have her sheet up.
That is not enough because she's also not in range.
Well, Beacon of Hope is not a.
No, she's not in my range.
Not in Leah's
yeah.
range.
She doesn't have the +4.
Oh, yeah, I would've
She's
had-
not going to have enough on her wisdom saving though. She's a fighter.
It would have been a 24 for me with the +4 from Leah's.
You're fine. It seems as if the only person to have caught it is Cortanis. And hold on just a moment. Let me double check.
Maggie, I linked her sheet.
Yeah,
On
waiting
Discord.
for it to load. The computer's being. You know what? I'm
now he's conked out on the other couch.
So,
He was running around like a spaz, and
I love him.
that's where he usually sits. So I'm not surprised.
Beacon of Hope means that they can't be frightened, right?
no, I don't think it.
Yes.
I think it's yes.
Protection from evil and good does.
Yeah, Protection from Evil and Good. I forget what Beacon of Hope does.
Beacon of Hope is advantage on wisdom saving throws, advantage on death saving throws, and you get the maximum amount of hit points healing.
Okay.
Oh no, it's what you call it? The Hero's
Heroism?
Feast that makes it.
Hero's Feast.
Okay.
You can't be frightened.
Gotcha. Okay. So, you see Cortanis sort of recoil in fear. I'm not sure what icon to use, but I'll use that one. Recoil in fear.
I feel like fear is the panic one, but I don't know.
Yeah. It's fine. And she starts slashing in the air in front of her.
Con save. I forgot to make a concentration check.
Oh yeah. And then it's your turn, Elias. Or was that? No, yeah. Your turn.
Okay. I rolled a 16 on my concentrate. That's a 16 on the die, so
that's fine.
20 something. Okay. I don't. So we're not killing it yet?
I mean, can you? If you can speak to Dead It, we can kill it.
I can speak to Dead It tomorrow.
Then kill it.
Okay.
Do we want to try to keep the weird, the mind control creature alive?
All right. If we're okay with me doing creepy ghost talk with it tomorrow, then.
Aiden is incapacitated and cannot respond one way or the other.
It seems like the safer choice than
what are you going to do
alive?
at this moment? Because
sorry, I'm trying to. My computer's not cooperating.
Oh, her computer's fighting her.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I'm not sure what's going on with my computer tonight, but. Okay. I'm gonna. Oh gosh. What do I have?
Oh, actually, hold on.
I'm just gonna. I'll stay where I am, and I'll go ahead and just do a first level guiding bolt.
Okay.
Guiding
bolt up the butt.
Up the butt.
Up the illithid butt.
Oh, that's good. That's 15 plus 24 to hit.
That will hit. How much damage?
It is 4d6.
Okay.
46 3. Ooh. Ooh, that's good. That is 6. 10, 12, 16. So 16 radiant damage.
Ooh.
And the next attack on it has advantage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cortanus spins about, flailing as she's striking at unseen things that only she can see. And have her make another wisdom
save? Okay.
Yeah.
And she's still good.
Advantage.
Ah, that is much better. That is a dirty 20. Right?
Okay.
Let me double check her wisdom is. Yeah, so yeah.
And she takes 26 points of psychic damage from the strange creatures that are assaulting her.
I don't know that okay, I don't think I can change her HP, but.
I can.
Okay, yeah.
Can everyone see everyone's bars?
No.
I can only see my own.
Alright, I can get that. Okay, so.
Yay, HP bars.
Yep.
Okay, at the okay, the end of Cortanus' turn, it uses one of its legendary actions, and you can see it sort of send out this. You just hear another rise in the whisper brain, and Cortanus takes another. Actually, hold. How close is Aiden? Oh, you're 20 feet away. Cortanus takes another 7 points of psychic damage. It's too quiet for anyone else, but she's close enough that it's messing with her head. Aiden, you are up. You can save from the stun.
Fail.
Okay, so you're still stunned. Sorry.
Oh, no.
Okay. on its turn, she's no longer frightened because Cortana saved out of the effect. So it is going to make an attack roll against her. What's your armor class?
It is 18.
Okay, 18. It rolled a 20. Nope, that is the wrong creature. Okay, it rolled a 25.
Oh,
yeah.
That hits.
Yeah.
And that is, oh, yikes. Okay, that is another, that's 23 points of damage as the Mind Flayer pulls her in and, like, wraps its tentacles around her. And can you have her make a intelligence saving throw for me, please?
Okay. 18.
Okay, that's enough. She's not stunned, so she's aware and fighting. Yeah. But she's hurt.
Yeah.
I just like Cortanus more than I like Elias.
All right. So, Wiria is going to. Well, first, let's throw a second level healing word on Cortanus because ow.
Sure.
Dude's business.
And that is she gets 11 back.
Okay.
And then action action she will just, what do I have that would be good? I guess just let's just, I guess, do another Eldritch Blast. I was debating if I wanted to. Actually, no, let's do an Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
So that is 17 to hit and 15 to hit.
Okay. So it has a reaction ability, and as you see the bolts kind of go sailing towards it, the space around it sort of ripples a little bit, and you could have sworn they would have hit it, but they sort of seem to skew off at the last moment.
Okay.
Seem to use some sort of psychic defense to increase its armor class. Leah.
It is.
This creature is grappling Cortanus.
Yeah.
And you see its tentacles wrapping around her head, a lot like the what had happened to that elf person. At least you're seeing her doing the same things that it was.
So we are, that's not cool. As much as I'm like, I want to protect everybody, but my auras just not make it out.
I mean, I'm about to run up to Cortanus too.
Yeah, I was like, at this point, she's knowing that the conversation they had with Fellas, she's like, he knows I'm not abandoning him, and she's going to charge into the fray, and I want to position myself like right on the crosshairs of this spot, and I can't. But I gotta get closer, so I guess I'll get there.
Okay.
And
here, what I can do, give me a second.
I mean, I have to be within 10 feet of him anyways, so.
Okay, no more grid, so you can kind of.
Yay, no grid! Awesome!
Cool.
I like grid.
Now you're not stuck on a grid.
Yay. I'm assuming that's in my movement. I didn't really measure.
Yeah, you could get about that close.
Yeah. Now, what is this computer doing? Stop being weird. Okay. So yeah, it's about there, wherever. And gosh, it's one of those. I'm like, I want to stab it, but before that, I am going to channel divinity and cast Nature's Wrath on
Sure.
him. So he has to make a Strength or Dex saving throw.
This is magic spell?
No, this is channel divinity.
Okay.
I am channeling the wrath of Mother Nature to restrain him with vines.
Okay. So, he does have magic resistance, and he
Well, it
rolled
doesn't do damage.
It doesn't do damage.
It's just holding him.
Right, but it has advantage on
There's
saving throws
advantage on the
versus
save.
spells and other magical effects. This is a magical effect.
Yeah.
He rolled a 1 and a natural 20.
Oh, bad.
Oh.
Sorry.
Well, I have burned that. That's gone. Okay. No more till
All right.
later today.
Divinities.
Yeah, I only have one. I have to rest for an hour before I can do it again, so.
Yeah. It was my brother loves mind flayers, and the 20 was with his old die, so I'm sorry.
Of course.
Well, that takes up my whole action too. So.
Okay. Any bonus actions?
I don't. What do I have even like?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't really have anything I can do. So.
Okay.
Other than brace myself and prepare to fight back at this thing.
Okay. It doesn't have any eyes. Like where its eyes would be are just sort of these voids that look like they've been whatever thing it was clawed out. But it does seem to sort of focus on you angrily. And you and Cortanus both take 7 points of psychic damage as you just feel this creature's wrath.
And this is still just not spells, right?
That's not what. It is not a spell. Sort of. Think of it.
Mind flyers by nature are not spellcasters.
Yeah.
They have innate
a lot of
spell casting, so if it were to cast a spell, then that would trigger reactions and that sort of thing. But a lot of this isn't exactly a normal mind flayer. He's kind of a little bit of a custom brew thing because he's, this psychic creature that's been trapped in a psychic cage for, 600, 700, 800 years. So he's not quite all there. Okay. So Velis.
Alright, seeing the position Cortanus is in, I'm gonna cast Zephyr Strike on myself and get up in his face and go, no you don't. And I'm gonna stab him.
You feel that sort of same prickling sense of apprehension, but at the same time you know that this buoying sense of resolve, you're not sure if it's Leah's spell or Leah's presence, but you're not.
I also
not nearly as frightened of this creature as you once were.
I triggered the advantage with the Zephyr Strike on this one, so that was a 28 to hit.
That will hit.
And with sneak attack.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Oh, this is good.
That's good.
Plus 6. 23, and he's got to make a con save.
A con save? Is this magic?
Yeah, Dagger of Venom. I triggered it before we came down.
Sure. He's got advantage, and that's another natural 20 with my brother's Illithid.
That's alright.
At least it's not on attack rolls.
Oh, wait, I forgot. Add another... Add another 4 damage, because I forgot the D8, I forgot the aberration damage.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna... Fuck. What am I gonna do?
This creature's beginning to look seriously hurt.
Zephyr Strength was my bonus action. I'm gonna stay in his face, though.
Okay.
I wanna distract him from Cortanus a little bit.
Alright. Elias.
I'm gonna kind of stand there and put the daggers up.
Drifting down from above, you see the ghostly apparition of the warrior kind of turn to you and look almost as if waiting for an order.
Go help them.
You see the countenance, the ghost turn from the elven work, basically kind of do like Ghost in the Library and Ghostbusters kind of thing, where it just transforms. You've seen ghosts do this, but you've never been on the like non-receiving end of it. As it
Normally they're doing it at me.
Yeah, it just it basically, you know, sort of with its blade in both hands, runs like through Leah and Kurtanis straight at this creature.
Oh, that's a weird feeling.
Yeah,
It's like, huh.
yeah, and you basically just see as you're like, you know, almost wrestling with this creature and Kurtanis next to you, this elven ghost just emerge from your chest straight at the thing. So also, what are you doing with? And it rolled a 2. Sorry.
Oh, I tried.
Wait.
Can I get up?
You can't get within touching range of Kurtanis.
Touching range of Kurtanis. Okay. Oh gosh. Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and move up at least a little bit, like there,
sure,
closer. Well, no, I'll go ahead and move up. I think like here it was 30, roughly.
Okay.
I can if need be. I'll do a 3rd level healing word on Kurtanis.
Oh, hey, look. Okay. So I meant to put I took a picture with my phone to throw in chat of the Mind Flayer, like, grappling Valet, or grappling Kurtanis. I didn't realize that, like, oh, hey, look, it's health bars right there.
All right.
Well, his health bar's on screen now, too, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can also see his health bar.
Yeah, well, I turned the health bar on because he went under half health, but, like, the numbers are actually on the screen, is the thing.
Oh, that's funny.
All right, I'm gonna...
What are you doing?
Kurtanis gets 7, 8...
Oh, healing spell?
Healing word on Kurtanis at 3rd level, so she gets... brain is not...
Well, Beacon of Hope, so she automatically gets max, right?
Oh, that's right, she does get max.
Ooh.
I forgot.
Yeah, it's max
healing or all healing?
All healing.
All healing. I forgot.
That means that the healing word from Gloria would have healed
Gloria
more
would
as
also
well.
have
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, yeah, it's potions, any spells, any healing, I'm
Alright, so
pretty sure.
Kurtanis gets 17 hit
It's all
points
maxed.
back.
Okay.
And...
I'm just going to give her an extra 5. I'm not sure how much the one for Gloria would have been.
Yeah, I'd have to...
Well, you was second level, so it would be...
Yeah. Well, her I can tell you what the total
8.
would have been. Yeah, total would have been 12.
And then
But I don't
with
remember
my
I think she got like 7 or 8 from...
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and use one of my channel divinities, and I'm gonna do Path to the Grave.
Nice.
So the next attack that hits, until the end of my next turn, this is the next time you or an ally of yours hits the cursed creature with an attack. The creature has vulnerability to all of that attack's damage, and then the curse ends.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
I'm really
And
sad.
we're killing this thing, so.
I'm sorry. You can save out of it soon. I believe in you, Aiden.
Yeah, you're the one who was all gung ho, we're going down here.
Yeah.
And now you're standing there feeling Glea's like, what are you doing?
Okay, so at the end of your turn, Elias, it takes a legendary action, and I need everybody to make a wisdom saving throw. Of course, you all have advantage because you can
Also have advantage.
Advantage, and everybody but Wiria now is Velis in the aura? He's like just outside it. Dang it.
I'm not.
Yeah.
That's good.
Of my aura? No. Woo!
Yeah, you need more than your
Natural 19
code.
for the first one.
Oh yeah, that's.
I rolled 2 natural 19s, so that is a 29.
What type of saving throw was it?
Wisdom.
Wisdom. Okay, that's an 18.
24.
Elias is fine. Wuria, you're fine.
And I would say
14.
thank goodness for advantage because one of them was a nat 1, but I could have re-rolled that anyway. So who knows?
Zealous. So this creature doesn't seem to be really facing you at all, but all of a sudden it turns and it's just sort of like bearing down on you. You're not frightened of it, but you do sort of get overwhelmed with this psychic force, and you take
Oh, do I need to roll for Cortanis too?
Yes, please. She has the bonus because of the thing with the thing. You take 18 points of psychic damage. But you're immune to the frightened condition.
Yeah.
And even though this mind flare is, it's like beginning to grow and enlarge itself and sort of like overpower you, you're oddly serene and you're just like, I'm gonna stab you in the dick.
Cortanis got a 22.
She's fine.
The benefits of Furbolg Best Friend.
Yeah.
Gives you the courage to stab the mind flayer in the dick.
Okay, so Cortanis' turn.
I figured
she is grappled currently.
Okay. Well, can she still attack from?
Yeah, she can attack, but I think she'd have. Would she have disadvantage?
Yeah, she could have disadvantage.
Yeah.
And she's still not looking great. I can't actually see her.
Yeah, her health thing is under the ghost.
The ghost is covering up her
She's
health.
still under half, but
No, if she's grappled, she's just grappled. She's not stunned.
Okay.
Her speed is 0, but she doesn't have disadvantage on the attack.
Really?
She's
Okay.
grappled. Yeah, you don't have
not restrained. She's just
not
grappled.
she's just
Correct.
grappled. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a tricky wording.
Yeah,
difference.
I guess.
Grappled is not the same as restrained.
Attack.
Okay.
Go stabby stab.
Go stabby stab.
Cortanis cast sword.
Yeah.
Yes.
Especially because it's really going to hurt if she hits. All right, so I've not played a. All right, so she gets 3.
All the attacks.
All the attacks. All right, well that's a natural 1 on the first attack.
Oh no!
Journey. Second attack is a natural 20.
Damn! The first one there.
Should I go ahead and roll the damage for that? Does the damage is that like it tripled?
So
vulnerability.
No, it's doubled and doubled.
Double
So here's
damage?
what happens.
Maggie, shouldn't she have had advantage on the first hit that was a 1 because of your as Elias?
She doesn't have advantage.
No.
No.
She just does. Okay, so the creature will be vulnerable. Whatever
does double damage.
Right. So what you need to do. So typically, the way she normally operates with her swords is, I think she's got 3 attacks. Is it?
Yeah.
Like 2 and then an offhand. So she's got like basically it's usually light, dark, light. So she hits with the dark sword on the second attack, which means its next attack
disadvantage
is made at disadvantage because it's sort of all covered up in shadows as her sort of magic swords activate. So double all the dice, or roll twice as many dice as you normally roll for whatever this is.
So that would be. It looks like it's a D. Yeah, it's a D8. So that'd be.
So roll 2d8 because it's a crit, and then add her modifier.
Modifier. Where's my other D8? There we go.
The stroke.
Ooh, that's a lot. That is. That is, and yeah, it's plus 6 because it's a magical weapon.
Yes.
Oh gosh.
Oh, come on.
Time for math.
Plus 6. All right, so that is 19.
Doubled. 38 damage.
38, yeah.
Jeez!
38 damage on that hit.
Yeah.
Single hit.
And
That is a serious.
then one more.
Good
What's
job.
the ability that you used?
My channel divinity, the Path to the Grave.
Path to the Grave.
Channel,
Yeah.
Path to the Grave, channel divinity. Yeah. Yeah, that's a. Oh yeah, she's got a plus 10 to hit. Yeah, that's a 25.
Yeah, the next one hits pretty well.
Good job, restrained Cortanis.
Just had a D8.
Yeah.
Or not restrained. Grappled Cortanis.
And that is a 4 plus. That's 10.
See, that's the thing. It's going for her head, not her arms.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
a
she does
mistake.
get to add her modifier on this. Right?
She does.
Yeah.
Two weapon fighting, all that stuff. How much damage?
She has dual wielder. 10 slashing. I believe it's whatever.
Sure.
Whatever it is for the.
Piercing.
Okay. 10 whatever sword damage
Mm-hmm.
it is.
Okay. Aiden.
You're in my aura now.
Still not successful.
Even with a +4?
I only have a +1 to my own, so that was a 9.
Roll it, never die!
Yeah.
So,
This was me last time we fought one of them.
Yeah.
Aiden, when you first got down here, and you saw all of this strange writing, and it was overwhelming at first, and then you charged in, blasted the thing, and then it assaulted you again. Your mind almost shut down as if to protect you. And it's strange in that you're hearing the sounds of battle and shouting and the strange guttural cry of this creature almost happening around you as if it were kind of like in slow motion, but in your mind everything is sort of dark. And then everything goes quiet still. And you find yourself again in a familiar, small, enclosed space. Complete darkness, which for quite a while you haven't seen. You're not used to this level of inky blackness around you so well in the dark. And then far off in the distance you can see sort of almost like a spotlight shining down on a figure, sort of cloaked in shadow, standing. You're not sure how far it is. Your ability to you don't know how far.
Can I move?
You sort of will yourself to walk, and it's strange in that you look down and you see your body and you try to take a step, and the sensation is strange in that where you were far away, now you're immediately up to it. Like it's you as if just through an effort of will you move, and now you're kind of standing on the edge of the spotlight, facing this figure, cloaked. You can see the vague outline of well-made boots, nice boots. The rest of it's in shadow, this long cloak kind of covering it, and a low hood over, but it's humanoid shape. And it's familiar. You hear sort of a deep voice, genderless and warbling, strange, that you've heard before. You are close.
Close to what? You? Or what I'm looking for?
It holds out its hand, and you get the sense that it's a hand, but you can't see. It's just you don't see skin, you don't see flesh, you don't see a hand, but you know that it's a hand. It's almost as if there's this weird perception filter that you can't make out what this creature is, or what this person is, or what this being is. But again, you see that image of a blade, broken on either end, and just sort of slowly kind of rotating.
Well,
when I become whole, we become whole. And you will be closer to that which you seek.
What are you exactly?
I am not what I once was. really seem to be proffering up any more information in terms of answering the question. Sort of closes it. I'm making motions, but I just realized that it's all off camera, and you don't actually see somebody back. It's doing that. And it sort of closes it closes the hand, makes a fist, and kind of brings back down, sort of into the formless. And the image, it's not really a hologram, but almost an illusion. You've been able to conjure these. When you go digging into the past, you are bound to get dirty.
Don't I know it? But you never find anything worthwhile without getting dirty.
You found me.
Found is a term.
You were close. There are old things here. Things which I was made to destroy.
What are the three?
Three. The three that came. The three that were before.
I'll get more information if I find what you showed me.
I am incomplete. There are gaps.
That's fair.
When I am whole again, so will you be. And then he kind of like holds up his hand, and he just says, "Wake up." And it's almost as if all of the sensations and sounds that were around you, that had been sort of in slow motion, all rush in, kind of like, almost as if 2 or 3 rounds of sensations are accelerated, collapse into a single moment, and you can come back to your senses on your turn. You are no longer stunned, and you have an action.
Okay.
And you're awake and present. You have a splitting headache, but you are... And you can see just Cortana's sort of buckling under this creature, but it's like one of her blades is actually sticking out the thing's back. There's this ghost that's sort of like swinging ineffectually at it.
You missed a few things.
Yeah. And, you can see Elias is like reaching out for, and Bella's got this like wild expression in his eyes, and it's just all of these things happening just almost in slow motion. You're just sort of observing, aware, and present.
Shit. Well, I guess I'll just I'll walk up and take a swing.
Just casually.
Yeah, it's strange in that it's everyone seems to be moving in motion almost, but you're just moving just.
Oh, Mama.
Well, I rolled 2. I'm pretty sure one of them misses, but the second one's a 21.
That's more than enough to hit. Do you do more than 7 points of damage?
Give me a second.
Sure. It's vulnerable to your blade.
I did max on the dice, so that's that's.
How do you want to do this?
Whack! Splat across the wall.
It's basically everybody's struggling, and it's like I come out of the whatever that was, and my frustration, I didn't get one last question out. I just basically just walk up and
You'll always be like, "Don't destroy the mouth."
Doesn't have one.
Whatever passes for a mouth.
It's like, then never mind.
Another question: does this thing count as a humanoid?
No, it is an aberration. I'm sorry. One of these days, you get to use the feature. One of these days.
Just like one of these days, we will come against somebody casting spells at us, and then
nice Hawaiian barbecue, yum. Which is good timing. So you slay this creature, or you stab it, and you can hear everybody hears this horrible screeching.
Slice it right through the brain.
Yeah.
And you're just like sort of right into the and the creature immediately collapses.
I'm just seeing Aiden from the other side. Well done.
But the scream that's in your head persists.
I don't like that.
And Leah and Elias, you both feel this sort of cold sensation kind of pricking the back of your neck. The hairs on the back of your neck begin to rise. As that sort of screaming sensation, or that sound, the emanation.
We've been hearing before.
No, that was like that ghost.
Yeah, that was
like crying out in pain. And sort of as the mind flayer, as the body falls, you see sort of the ghost kind of turn to look at you and just sort of slowly fade away. But you can see the body of the mind flayer is still and lifeless, but you're still hearing that sound emanating from somewhere. It's that strange final cry.
Is there anything familiar, or anything I might know what would cause this? Anything I can guess?
No, you don't know what this is. But
you said,
all sort of,
was it Leah and Elias got the weird?
And Elias.
I mean, we can sense things.
I mean, we all hear it, right?
You all hear it.
We can.
But
I'm stabbing the body again.
Yeah, you stab the body. And you can see.
I'm looking around to see if I can see.
Yeah, as you stab it, it's and sort of just. I mean, you punctured the thing's brain, and there's like, what weird matter remains in this creature is all over you now. But as you stab it again, there's the sort of dark shadow. It's like it's bleeding darkness and shadow out of it. And it's sort of almost like a fog kind of drifting off of it.
I'm going to start stepping backward.
Yeah, I'm yelling for everyone to back up.
Mm-hmm.
Get away.
Okay, well, where is back up?
Where is back? Yeah.
I'm backing, yeah.
And
she'll go back another step just to be safe.
The darkness kind of coalesces.
Oops.
Yelling specifically at Aiden if he's
it's like Aiden
that way.
I will come up and grab him if I have to.
Might have to.
And the form slowly rises, shapeless but dark.
I'm gonna run up
until you see sort of like a weird facsimile of an illithid, but made from darkness and shadow. And its eyes were sort of gone and void before, but now what you see are just two pinpricks of a dark, pale light. And it sort of does that angry sort of ghost flare thing, and the darkness just sort of begins to dim the light around the edge of your light spell as it just sort of begins to almost think Gandalf and Lord of the Rings, do not take me for a fool, and it just sort of rises up. And that's where I'm going to end tonight.
Awesome.
As you feel the body of this creature and something dark and shadowy and psychic emerges from it.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm running up and grabbing Aiden by the back of the collar and.
Did I move at all? Was I able to move?
I had. He
I think
one more, and then you ended it, and you were just damn it. It was a really,
So we'll leave everybody exactly here because this creature is very hostile to you.
You think?
Which, by the way, for continuity, I did make Constitution saving throws, and I did succeed on them because I didn't take huge amounts of damage. So Bellis is still protected at the moment. So.
I also made 2 con saves kind of late for Zephyr Strike. I think I only got hit twice after I got close.
How many?
Yeah,
how many rounds was that? Because we might be about to lose Beacon of Hope.
That was only 3. That was only 4.
Yeah, that wasn't long.
I was like, Leah healed Velis, then ran up and tried to cast the vines, and then Aiden killed it. So, it was 2.5.
Yeah, that was 3.5, 4 rounds of combat.
No, it wasn't even. I had 2 turns.
I had at least 3 turns.
You did, because you were before me in initiative. It was 2.5 rounds.
Yeah, I also only had, I think I only had 2 turns too, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it was.
So that was, we are on the 3rd round.
Okay. So we've got
7 rounds left of, approximately 7 rounds left of, or 8, yeah. What?
Oh wait, no, that's checks, not saving throws. Okay, I forgot my 1 point of exhaustion, but that's
checks, not saving throws.
Checks, not saving throws.
There you go.
All right, so I'll make a note. So we've got 3 rounds left of Beacon of Hope.
How long is Beacon of Hope?
It's a minute.
1 minute.
That's 10 rounds.
Yeah, that's 10 rounds. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
it's been 3 or 4.
Yeah, you should
7 rounds.
7 rounds.
7 rounds.
Beacon of Hope. Yeah.
Yeah, I was
because you cast it before we went down, so yeah.
Right before we went down.
Yeah, approximately 7 rounds.
Meanwhile, the protection is 10 minutes, so thankfully. Assuming I can concentrate that long, but yeah.
Yes, there will definitely be answers to be found down here.
Yeah.
Answers.
Might have to wait for those.
Yeah.
Thank you all for playing.
Thank you. Hopefully next week the pupper is a little more chill, but I'll be able to take him for longer walks. So, dear Lord.
No worries.
I have Conehead Lap Cat.
I saw a Conehead Lap Cat. Quite cute.
Mm-hmm.
So she keeps standing up. Every time I make her get down for a bit, she just stands up on my leg and starts going, no.
Aww.
She can't figure out
I saw Mona just go zooming down the hall, and I'm assuming right under the couch.